beating your head on a wall. Say no way, marijuana's a fast way to fall. You will pay, cause it's doing you no good at all. And you know, if you gamble with life, you can lose it. Gotta grow, cause your life is a gift, don't abuse it. And you know, if you gamble with life, you can lose it. Gotta grow, cause your life is a gift, don't abuse it. Oh. Never try marijuana, don't try it at all. It's a lie, it's like beating your head on a wall. Say no way, marijuana's a fast way to fall. You will pay, cause it's doing you no good at all. And you know, if you gamble with life, you can lose it. Gotta grow, cause your life is a gift, don't abuse it. And you know, if you gamble with life, you can lose it. Gotta grow, cause your life is a gift, don't abuse it. A lot of people think that marijuana isn't dangerous, but they're wrong. Because not only does it harm a person's body and mind, but it often leads users to try other, even more dangerous drugs. And you know, if you gamble with life, you can lose it. Gotta grow, cause your life is a gift, don't abuse it. And you know, if you gamble with life, you can lose it. Gotta grow, cause your life is a gift, don't abuse it. Oh.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the delayed Sunday Robin Eagle Song Show. Hi, you guys. Thank you for being here. I am fresh out of Grampy's stream, and I asked him if he felt like doing a double header, and he didn't know. Because and I totally get that. If you're an older person, there's no way to predict your energy level in advance. Okay, so the that background I have up there, that overlay with all those bottles of liquid Satan, I think it was on Grampy's show before last. I don't know. We were talking about, in his chat, we were talking about cheap booze that we were all guilty of buying when we didn't have a lot of money, when you're a kid, and illegal. Yeah, and so we were reeling off names, Annie Greensprings, and okay, I see Night Train there. Okay, in this picture, the only ones I have experienced is Boone's Farm, okay, Ripple, and Thunderbird. Those are okay, just those. But gosh, I think the selection is even, is way more vast than this. But you guys, when you don't have a lot of money, when you're out with your pals, or trying to stay out of the house because your parents were fucking bastards, you're sitting around with your friends and you're pooling your money, and then you find an older friend, or maybe somebody had a fake ID. So, well, why am I not showing? Oh, I have to take the backdrop off. Okay, I have to take I have to take that off. Okay, so now I'm hiding. Oh, well, like that's better. Um, but yeah, there you have it. Okay, I don't know how many of you were in Grampy's stream before this, but I'm gonna ask Grampy if he can clip it out because Grampy is on this. What is it? This other platform he's on, Mole Force Underground Digger. What is it? Melon. It's called. I don't know what. Okay, Grampy's on this platform called Melon. It's not StreamYards or anything, but it's different. And I can't put a picture up there like this one unless I pay. And I don't want to pay to go on Grampy shit because I'm already paying for StreamYard. So it was okay. Grampy, was bitching like that old son of a bitch does. Bitching about me not coming on camera because I have a spit wad over my camera. So what I did was I turned my camera on, took off the spit wad, but I tilted up my camera so that you don't have to look at me because you guys, I don't fix up for this. I haven't had a shower today. Haven't done my hair. I've got earphones on. And I'm a fucking ugly old woman. Okay, so but when I was showing what's above my head, when I turned my camera on, there was this glare from my overhead lighting. So I thought, Grampy was showing a video. So I got up out of my chair and I turned off the light that was reflecting in this picture that was behind me. And then I came back and I came over, behind my chair, and I opened my blinds so that I would have a little, indirect lighting for, what I was showing on my camera. And then I came back to sit down and I was on camera. Okay, I'm wearing a wife beater. I am not wearing a brassiere. My belly's hanging. I think my belly was hanging. No, my belly. But yeah, I crossed in front of my camera and sat down, you guys, so you got the full benefit of seeing my unfortunate physiognomy. But and then I kept thinking about it after I sat down. Oh shit! They saw me. But boil it all down. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Okay, I'm going over there. You guys, before the show even started, Maggie, our Mags, popped in to wish us a good one. And much love to you, Mags. You're probably out doing stuff, doing your life, making memories and stuff. Yeah, thanks, Maggie. Hi, John, aside first. Cody's place. Hi, sweetheart. Thank you for coming over here. Hey, Six Drops. Good to see you, Six. Thanks for being here. Oh, okay, Prairie Queen. Hi, beautiful sweetheart. Good to see you too. Thank you for being here. I'm scrolling. I think I got. Oh, Night Train, Boone's Farm, Thunderbird, and MD. Okay. Ha! I didn't. Okay. Yeah, there are a lot of cheap things. There was what was it when we had money? What did we buy when we had money? Oh, getting into community college years, you guys. Okay, community college, we were still college students, so that's way more sophisticated. So when we pooled our money, some of us would go out and buy what it was Mateus, Mateus, Mateus. That was our most sophisticated junior college drink when we were all sitting around the campfire, Mateus. That was pure exotica when I was younger, you guys. Yeah, Cody's place is Pachine. Pachine. I don't know what that is. Poaching. 6 drops tequila rose, sort of like strawberry quick. Ew. Ew. Strawberry quick. Do you guys remember? Okay, there have been like things going around, nostalgia, what we did as kids, fizzies. Remember fizzies? It's a happy fizzies party. They looked like Alka-Seltzer in those foil packets, and you dropped them in a glass of water, and it made strawberry, grape, banana, whatever. Yeah, fizzies. Do you guys remember flavor straws? Flavor straws. Those knocked me out when I was a kid. Flavor straws. They were, you bought them in a pack, and of course, and then you either squeeze the end to open it or tear off the end, and or no, you just took it out of the little sleeve. You put a flavor straw in milk, and it was this, probably a little, flannel thing, a little stick of something inside the straw, and it had flavor straws. You could get strawberry, chocolate. I think there was a vanilla flavor straw, and it was cool, you guys. But you put the straw in and you dunk it up and down a few times. You pull milk like halfway through the straw. I'm giving you expert techniques, you guys. Pull some of the milk halfway through the straw and then push it back into the glass and dip the straw, and it gets, the longer you dip the straw in the milk, the stronger the milk gets with the flavor. Oh, heaven. Heaven. And of course, all of us, had to open one of those straws and see what was inside. And it was just this long strip of material, cotton, compressed cotton, that was full of all these flavor essences. And so, of course, you got to taste it. Oh. Yeah, tasting one of those flavor things inside of a flavor straw wasn't good. But hey, we did it. Jilly beans, holy fuck. Hi, Jilly. Oh, sweetheart. I know that you were over on Michelle Embry's show. I know you were there, and I was made aware of it. I bookmarked it so that I have not watched it yet. I know you guys covered some really heavy stuff. That's what I know about it. Bless your heart. So, was it on you or was it on Michelle? I'm assuming it was on Michelle Embry's channel. So you guys go over and watch. Yeah, they're talking about some serious shit. And yeah, happened to me too, Jilly. Yeah, the toxic bloodstream. Flatlined on the table and shit, but never even thought to. I haven't thought about that in decades. But you guys, bless your hearts for being candid about that. It was Michelle's channel. Okay, Genocide saw it. Everybody saw it but me. What was I doing? Well, I was probably fucking sleeping. Oh, no. Oh, see, I was on Grampy's show. I was on Grampy's stream. Not at first, but I was modding in the chat over on Grampy's. So I missed it, but it's bookmarked, and yeah, I'm gonna watch you guys because you guys are neat. Oh, Leaping Larry. Leaping Larry. Clever name. Excuse me. Leaping. Okay. Yeah, Genocide, that's because you cheat at work. You little poop head. You were working, but you were there, but you probably weren't, Yeah. Oh, Jilly, don't we all? Isn't that important for anybody? Is, just to heal a little bit more each time. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to make it a point to go over there and I'll leave a comment and a thumbs up and all that stuff. But, thanks for being here, Jilly. Yeah, okay, right now, Seraph the Mage is on right now, too. Boy, he's gotten better. Oh, after the first hour, John. Okay. Okay, John, I'll get off your back. Yeah. Okay, so what was I gonna share with you guys? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Okay, Grampy isn't, I don't think Grampy's watching. But Grampy Lobster, if you don't know our friend Grampy Lobster, everyone, he covers some really ridiculous channels out there. It's hysterical, and he clips them up and does them just right. He covers this guy named Tony Chase. Okay. Tony Chase says that his mother, his mom and dad owned, like half of Los Angeles and all these studios and blah, 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 all the stuff. They had a talent agency. And his mother was Doris Duke. Okay. So I have a friend who also had a talent agency, the real one in Los Angeles. And so I just messaged him about an hour ago. And I said, do you know of anybody named Tony Chase? He says his mother was Doris Duke. And my friend said, never heard of him. Now, if Tony Chase was the offspring of Doris Duke, my friend would have heard of him, because he's friends with somebody else in that family. Yeah, so anyway, that's it. So Grampy, for listening, didn't we already know that Tony Chase was a fraud, but there you have it. So, okay, I don't know what else I'm 6 drops. You want to come on? Do you want to? 6. I have. Oh, Doris Duke killed someone with her car. Really? Okay, I heard there was kind of a scandally thing. Oh, I think I knew that once. Wait. Renee said, sorry, no weed yet. Wait, Robin said I didn't say Doris Duke killed somebody with their car. And then Renee said, sorry, no weed yet. How is Renee, John? 6 drops, look on Facebook. How's Renee doing? She doing okay? I keep sending her energy in Pearl's peril. Oh no, Renee said autocorrect. Wait. Renee said, sorry, no, we said auto. What? Oh, Renee's bitchy. Did she hear you? Does she know you said that, John? Oh, Renee, honey bunny, get better soon. You have festivals to attend and costumes to wear and shit. Ah. So you guys, for the 3rd time, and it looks like it's going to be permanent, the Hollywood Halloween Festival and Parade is canceled once again. It was a big deal. I think it was the biggest Halloween festival ever. And they've canceled it again. And, isn't that sad? It's Can't even do that anymore, you guys. Crowds are out. Oh, John, you haven't had any weed? And she just did. Oh, Renee got some weed. Good. Give her some more. She earned it. Yo, Six.
Yo, what's up?
Oh boy, nothing. I was gonna come on at noon today, and I, thinking, okay, I gotta keep the bookmark in here on the internet, even with Maggie not here. So I scheduled it, and then I said, Grappy is such a loose fucking cannon. I look and he's going live. So I went, okay, fuck. So I postponed mine to, 2:00. And then I don't know where I was going with that. But anyway, here we are. I have nothing to talk about. Do you have anything to talk about?
Not really. Did you send Grampy a link?
Wait a minute. Let me look. I did send him a link.
Oh, okay then.
Wait. Yeah, I said, just in case you feel like it, Grampy, and I sent him a link.
Oh, okay then.
Oh, I know, Prairie Queen. Yeah, the Hollywood big carnival, the Halloween carnival. It was huge. It was wonderful and exciting and sparkly and festive and musical.
But you know who does have something to talk about? Because I did catch some of it. Jilly. I wonder if Jilly would like a link. I caught some of her show.
You know what? I was just talking about Jilly, that she and Michelle did a thing. Jilly, you want to? Oh fuck. Okay, am I on Facebook with Jilly? Jilly, are we Facebook or are we Twitter? Twitter. Can't remember. Okay, I'm scrolling down a lot in okay, there was. Oh, and then I want to explain about the mods. Okay, I'm looking for Jilly. Maybe she's on the Twitter.
Oh, she said she's got to pass anyway. She's got a lot on her plate. But another time, because I'm thinking, we're talking some serious adventure there. Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we'll go over and the ones who haven't seen it will be watching your show, your stream with Michelle Embry. Is that the name of Michelle's? Is it just her name? Is she self-titled? Michelle's YouTube channel? Do you know?
I'm not too sure. I know
look her up.
Michelle Embry, something. I subscribe to her and bing, you get that little red thing on my page when she pops up.
Yeah, you don't need to know how to spell it or anything because it notifies you.
Yeah. Sometimes my notifications aren't perfect, but yeah, I got to see some of that. It was really fascinating. And I'm thinking,
it's under Michelle Embry.
Jilly's got a really cool story to share if she wants to tell it again sometime.
Kind of hair-raising.
But that's what happens when people know you on YouTube. You end up telling the same story a few times.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, John. You guys, there's the link. Thank you, Genocide. Cool beans. In case you guys don't have it, I have it because I have it bookmarked. So, and then Corey's friend too, Corey. We haven't had Corey. You want to come on? We don't have anything else to do. You want to come on, Corey? Because Corey's friend was dreadfully ill. Too, and she went through that. My friend is dreadfully ill, but boy, it's just. And then I think it's Trina over in Grampy's is getting a pacemaker tomorrow.
Oh, I saw that.
Oh boy, yeah,
that's gotta be scary.
Of course, it's scary. Oh geez, it's scary. A really close friend of mine had one put in a couple of weeks ago. He had no clue he was having heart issues, and Trina didn't know she was having. And I Grampy stopped him, but I told her many times heart issues have no symptoms. No symptoms. And if they do, it's very subtle and stuff you just, blow off. But yeah, my friend went in with one issue, swollen feet. Came out a week later with a pacemaker. Yeah, but boy, doing a pacemaker is so slick these days, you guys. It's fast, it's efficient. They've really perfected that. And he was out the next day.
Now, one of my cousins on my mom's side of the family had one of those ever since he was a wee little thing, had one of those like artificial hearts. And there was a lot of it that
things, yeah.
That, there would be a lot of extra equipment outside of his chest and stuff. And he just passed away, I want to say about a year ago. So, I mean, he really did some stuff and, with his life, and he was always hindered with all this, I don't know, stuff on his chest. Got to graduate his high school and stuff, but he was such a trooper. So when I see, the people with the stuff on their, and Shanny crying about her crinkle heart, and I'm like, lady, please, just please.
You have no fucking clue what it's really like to have a health issue and health complications and near-death experiences and shit. Okay. Oh, hey, in the background. Okay.
Did she? I think we was wondering if she got back out of the hotel, and I figured she probably is out of the hotel because she, usually most hotels have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And is she like on radio silence right now?
Complete. Absolutely complete. This is the longest Shanny and or Rev have been off the tubes or Twitch or any of those. Yeah. More than 2 weeks, going on 3 weeks. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, because
and there's so much speculation, like Rev is turning tricks at the truck stop, Shanny's in the hospital, so it's just wild.
Even hospital has Wi-Fi.
That's true.
Most, the ones I've known about do. Yeah, I think that, this
when I was in the hospital, they had Wi-Fi. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. Somebody backstage. Yo, our emotional support Canadian.
Corey.
Is blank screen. Did your camera go out?
It's an attack.
Oh, there you are.
It was a sneak attack.
Yo,
Did
Corey.
she surprise you?
I'm surprised. How's your friend, Corey?
Oh, here I am. Okay. She's okay now, thank God. Yeah, it was like we had a do not resuscitate on her. It was pretty bad. So because we thought this time, she's been sick most of her life, but she's always kind of bounced back. And then it got to a point, I'll just quickly, she's got a lot of stuff going on with her. She was in the hospital 3 weeks ago. Basically, she had, gallbladder stones in her bile duct. They decided then not to take them out. They thought there was only one. They decided then not to take it out. They gave her antibiotics. It kind of cleared out. They said, okay, it's going to be some, outpatient thing. Yeah, well, 3 weeks later, she went septic because of it. Now she's since January, she's been septic 3 times. She's been in the hospital 4 times since January. So, of course, me and her mother basically decided that, these people are going to get their shit together and they're going to find out what's going on because you can't keep going septic. Jilly knows all about septic, trust me. She's been septic 3 times since January. So what had happened, we were home. She was fine that morning. Usually in the morning, her PSW comes. she's got PSW 3 times a day. The PSW comes in the morning and changes her, washes her, does whatever. She's usually half out of it because she's usually not really awake. I always ask, we have to give her drink. We got to give her a yogurt because she's got to take her pills with the yogurt. I said, are you hungry? She said, no, I didn't sleep well last night. I'm going to have a couple hours more sleep. And then I want to get up because she wants to go to the mall. Okay, fine. You let me know when you want to eat. So she did end up sleeping from about 9 till about 12 because the PSW came back and she goes, oh, she's here. Is she early? I says, no, mine, it's like noon. She's supposed to be here. She's, oh, okay. She came up, we got her in a chair, blah, blah, blah. She's going to the mall. She didn't ask for anything to eat. Fine. I figured she's going to be at the mall, have something to eat because there's a food court there and there's the Chinese food place and she really likes it. Comes back. She was at her mom's because she went to pick up prescriptions for her mom. Phoned me and said it was around 3 and she goes, are you hungry? Have you eaten yet? Because I eat my dinner usually between 2 and 3:30. She goes, have you eaten yet? I says, no, I was thinking about it. She goes, can you make me something to eat? Because I haven't eaten yet. Fine. I said, when are you going to be down here? She's like 20 minutes. I said, okay, fine. She comes down, she eats. Every time when she eats, she has a nap. It's just the way she is. I'm going to have a nap. I said, no problem. I'm just going to be over, on the bed, like my bed, I call it, reading, whatever. If you need something, I'm here. So she was fine. But an hour and a half later, the only reason she caught, there's so much wrong with her. She has a pocket in her throat and the food gets stuck. So the only time she coughs is when she's eating because it gets stuck in anyway. So I thought she had a chip or something because she started coughing. So I didn't think nothing. I didn't say anything. Then she coughs a little bit more and I'm like, okay. And a little bit more and I'm like, are you okay? Because I thought maybe she snuck a chip or something. And she goes, I'm going to throw up. I said, okay. Went and grabbed a bucket and came over and she did her thing. And none of this gross stuff bothered me, right? So so she threw up a couple times and you okay? And she's like, yeah. She had a bit of a panic attack. She really doesn't like throwing up. And she throws up weird. It's hard to explain. So she was having a panic attack. I calmed her down. She was okay. And then she started throwing up again. So I'm like, do you have any, we call it Gravol or, anti-nausea stuff. And she says, no, she can't take it. She's allergic. I said, okay, fine. But at that point it wasn't, but then her back really started hurting. And then she basically got into such a panic attack. I've never seen her like that. There was nothing I could do. Her mother actually came down. I phoned her mother because I was like, I don't know what to do with her because I can. And she goes, you can't calm her down because usually I can calm her down. There was no calming her down. Wow. Her mom came down. She couldn't calm her down. So I said, you know what, Sylvia? I said, do you want me to phone an ambulance? Yes. I said, okay, because I said, they can give you Valium, because we'd already given her an Ativan. Her mom wanted to give her another one. I said, you're going to kill her if you give her two. And she kept complaining about her back. Off she goes. Ambulance comes. Off she goes. They thought she was having a heart attack.
I would say kidneys.
No.
No?
She was septic again. Okay. She gets to the hospital. She phoned her mom about an hour later. And at that point, all they knew is that she had a bladder infection. So maybe that was the pain in the butt. We're like, okay, that's not that bad. So this is Saturday night. This is like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, something like that. The next day, now, when she threw up, she aspirated a bit of the vomit. She didn't know it then, but the next day she did because she started having problems breathing. And she explained to them she was throwing up. Maybe that's what happened. By that night, so this is the Sunday, they had intubated her because she was having that much problems. Sylvia hates being intubated. I mean, it's not fun for anybody, but Sylvia just has continuous panic attacks. They basically have to keep her sedated. So that's what, and we told them, just sedate her. Because you do not want her awake because all she does is flip out. And then, of course, she can't talk. So quickly, I'm just trying to, there's so much stuff happen.
Yeah.
Off she goes to ICU. They intubate her. They got tested back again. She's extremely septic. So they're all flipping out and they're all running around like crazy people. They get all the antibiotics and stuff in her. Now, they said that we can't keep her sedated for 5 days. And we're like, okay. We warned them, like, she's going to be flipped out. And, like, it might be best. Like, her mom's like, why not? So what had happened is they had tried to wake her up Monday. Sylvia wasn't waking up. She wasn't responding. She wasn't responding to pain. She wasn't responding to nothing. Except for she still had brain activity. So they said she's not in a coma, but she won't wake up. He goes, right now we're not considering her being intubated as life support. But he goes, like, we have to get her to wake up. And we're like, okay. So we were talking to her and stuff like that. We're talking to her. Tuesday I went. She's still, I'm pinching her. I'm like, and I said to her mom, we got to make her mad. I said, she'll wake up to tell us to fuck off. So I said, let's make her mad. So I said to her mom, I whispered to her mom, I'm sorry to laugh now. Her son went vegan. And okay. But they keep saying that they're going to make Sylvia vegan, and that's not going to happen. So her mom whispered to me, I'm going to tell her she's going vegan. I said, do it. Stop it, Sylvia. I've had enough shit. You're going vegan. And her eyes kind of fluttered a bit. And we're like, wake up. We're screaming at her, right? But she's still, we're pinching her. Her mom was tickling her. She hates being tickled. She was tickling her. We everything we're trying to think of. So this was still, so Tuesday. Wednesday, her dad went. Because Tuesday night, I got so sick because I was throwing up just because of the stress. I didn't know if I was sick or not. And of course, they're not going to let me in ICU if they even think, So I phoned her mom first thing in the morning. I said, listen, I'm throwing up probably just because of the stress. I can't go today. She said, no problem. Her sister's going to come, blah, blah, blah. And her dad was there. They phoned me probably, this is Wednesday, about 5. She opened her eyes, but she's not quite with it yet. We're like, I said, well, okay, so technically she's awake. And they're like, yeah. And they said, like, her eyes are moving and she's looking at us and stuff like that. But of course, she couldn't talk yet because they still have the intubation in. So fine. Thursday, they were still reluctant because they were thinking about taking the intubation out. Because I said, maybe she's not waking up because she's so freaked out about the intubation. And her mom even agreed that's a possibility. So they were thinking about taking it out, but they were reluctant because they didn't want to have to take it out and have to put it right back in. Because that would even freak her even more. So anyway, so Thursday, her father finally said, he phoned me and said, Sylvia wants to see you. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, she wrote on a piece of paper, where's Corey? And I'm like, oh, thank God. So I said, she's like with it. He goes, yeah. He goes, she's kind of slow, but she's with it. So of course, Friday, me and her mom go. And she didn't know if she's still going to be intubated or anything else like that. So I came around the corner and the nurse said she's in there because I guess they moved her. And I walked in, no intubation, no nothing. She was, and she looked right at me and she was, oh, hi. I'm like, Sylvia. I says, like, do you know what happened? Now, funny thing is, she knows I'm into the paranormal, all that stuff. She's not. She doesn't believe any of that shit. It doesn't matter because she respects that I believe it, and I respect that she doesn't have to. So every day she's getting better and better. Like I said to the doctor, like she seemed like she was a little kid on Monday or on the Friday, because I walked in and she's like, oh, hi, Corey. And I'm like, hey, Sylvia, how you doing, babe? And I love you so much. I says, no, I know. And hi, mama. No, actually, she usually calls her mama because hi, mommy. And me and her mom kind of looked at each other like, okay. I love you so much. I know, baby. I love you too. But it was like she was like this 4-year-old child. It was really kind of weird. And I kept looking at her mom, and she kept looking at me. So I said, Sylvia was kind of concentrating on her mom. So I kind of mouthed to her mom, I'm going to talk to the doctor, right? So I go out and I say that, he's right there. And I'm like, is she brain damaged or something? He goes, he says, he goes, I know she seems a little slow. He goes, she was in such a deep sleep. He goes, it's not that she was like brain damaged or nothing, but he goes, because she was in such a deep sleep, he goes, it's taking her a little bit. He goes, even though she's awake, it's going to take a couple days to like come right back. He goes, she's back, but obviously, like, that's not Sylvia. I said, not really. I said, it is, but like, she's 4. He's like, yeah. He goes, she's going to be like that for a few days, which is true. So this was on the Friday. I mean, she was doing so well. Her mom had to leave. She was so tired. I said, I'm going to stay the whole day because I thought she was going to be in ICU the whole day. The nurse comes in, okay, she's going to a regular room. We're like, what? And they're like, yeah, she's fine. She's going to a regular room. We're like, oh, okay. So off we go to her, and it's funny because it's her favorite room. Like, she's been in this hospital so many times. She has a favorite room. So they said she's going to C4 room 51. I'm like, perfect. That's her bed 1. They're like, yeah, because she needs a lot of room around her because she always has IVs and the wheelchair and the whole bit, right? So anyways, so we've been talking. So she did snap. So the Friday, like, I mean, I had to feed her ice chips. Like, her mom was all pissed off that I didn't leave her the phone. I'm like, Liberty, like, were you not in the same room as me? Like, she is not capable of using the phone, okay? So Saturday she had, Saturday she woke up. She texted me, I'm good. And I'm like, okay. I think that's really good because, like, yesterday. And then I went and seen her on the Monday. And she wanted a pudding. So I go feed her like I was. And she's looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing? When she goes, I can feed myself. I said, okay, when I said on Friday you couldn't, so fuck off, bitch. She goes, there you are. Here I am. So we were talking and stuff like that, and it was like last week. She goes, I got to tell you something. This is what's wrong. She goes, this is pretty serious. I said, okay. And she goes, I had a dream when I was out. I said, no. And I said to her, do you realize that you were like, and she's, yeah. She goes, I was given a choice. And I was like, what do you mean? And she goes, I had what I'm thinking is a dream, but now I'm thinking maybe it's not. She goes, I walked into a room and there was this white light. And I was like, oh, Jesus, Sylvia. She goes, yeah, I know. And she goes, a voice said to me, she goes, it's funny because it sounded like my dad. A voice said to me, you can leave now if you want, but it's not really your time. And he goes, and she said, he said, it's your decision. And she said she decided to come back. And I was like, ah. As soon as she said the white light. So I'm like the tunnel? She's, yeah. And she said, I said, did you see anybody? She goes, my grandmother was standing at the end of the tunnel. And she's like, nope, nope, nope. And her grandmother died like 20 years ago. And so she said she realized, she said, thank you, but I'm going to leave. And she kept saying the voice said, okay, you've made your decision. And then she said the room got really dark and she kind of walked out the door. And she said she had some kind of awareness. Now, what she realizes now, she kept pinching because we asked the nurse, because the nurse kept teasing her, don't touch me. Like every time she came in the room, don't you touch me. And Sylvia they would laugh. And we're like, what's that about? And she goes, I kept pinching her to let her know I was here. Because I don't know if, like, at that point, like, they never said her heart stopped or nothing. But Sylvia's like, I was given that, and she doesn't believe any of this stuff. And I've told her, stuff about my brother and stuff about, near-death experiences and stuff like that. So she knew. But as soon as she said, I walked in with the bright light, the white, really white. And I was like, oh, Jesus, Sylvia. She's like, yeah, I know. But she goes, I was given a choice. And she said, it said, you can go now if you want. But she said, it's not your time yet. So you don't have to. But it's up to you. And then she said she said it was going into the tunnel. and like she could see the tunnel getting longer, but then she said she saw a person step out and look at her, and it was like, no, like this. And she said it was my grandmother saying, no, it's not your time. And she said, okay, I'm going to stay. And then, so we've talked about that a few times, and it's like, wow. But she goes, everything was so vivid. And I says, I've heard that it's,
yeah,
because she knows I've had one, but mine was much different. There was no tunnel. There was no nothing. It was just me in the operating room in the corner looking at them going, why am I up here? And stuff like that. But yeah, so we've been talking about that, and she's been asking me about paranormal stuff. Good news. She's fine.
Oh, good.
Yeah, thank God. She's fine. They're doing well. Me and her mother basically went on a rampage and said, "You are going to test the living shit right out of her." I says, "All you do is, of course, she comes to the hospital and she's septic, so they gotta like bombard her with antibiotics." But I said, "That's all you do. So you bombard her, the infection goes away. You think she's okay, and you send her home." I said, "This is the third time in 4 months she's been septic." Like, you have to find out what's going on.
What's causing it? Yeah.
Like, something's going on, and instead of just throwing antibiotics at it and then she's fine and making her go home, you have to find it. And my mom, or her mom, said too, "I will haunt your ass if you don't do that." And I said, "You do not want to piss her off," because I said, "She will haunt your ass." Okay? She'll be here 24 hours a day and she'll just scream continuously. So you better do something. So they're testing the living. I mean, right now she's having an MRI. Like, they're basically from head to toe. They're going down. They figured out finally, because we told them, you have to find out why she keeps going septic. Obviously, there's an infection somewhere. You have to find it. So it basically works out that it's these gallstones. They thought she had one. They go in. They said, we have to, we found the infection. It's there's a blockage in your bile duct because of the gallstones, but it's infected. And he goes, that's what the issue is. And we're like, okay. So we can get rid of it. And they're like, that's what we're going to do. They were worried about her having surgery, even though it was only going to be 20 minutes because she's still so weak, right? But they had to get out of there. So of course they go in, and it was laparoscopic. They had to go in. They can't go through her belly. They can't go through her belly button because she's got ileostomy, so they can't. So they have to go down below it. They have to go the throat. Yeah, no, they had to go through the throat. They couldn't do the belly button. They had to go down. Sure. Yeah, they go down. Yeah. So they went down the throat with the scope and everything. So they cut it. 15 gallstones.
Holy cow.
15. Yeah. Okay, so there's that. So they took care of that. She's been complaining a lot about her back still sore, and I explained to them, when Sylvia says her back is sore, it's not that her back is sore. There's something wrong. I says, every time she says her back hurts, there's an infection. There's something. So as I said, they're testing from like head to toe. They've done MRI. Well, she has this MRI right now, probably. CT scans. They did ultrasounds of her stomach. They're doing something with her spine because she keeps complaining about her back. The infection's gone because obviously the gallstones are gone. Yeah, but I mean, she gets better and better every day. Basically, at this point, she just has to get strong enough. They won't let her come home now until she can transfer herself from the bed to the wheelchair and then back by herself, because she's got to be able to do that. Because she doesn't have the problem with the PSWs and stuff here is they have to have 2 people to lift her, and she only has 1 PSW at a time. And she doesn't like being lifted. She has a panic attack if she gets lifted, and it's just not good. So she has to be able to transfer by herself. And it's not like she's by herself. It's basically, she's got a transfer board, like the wheelchair's right beside her bed. There's a transfer board, we slide under her butt, and she's basically got to slide over with her arms, but she's got to be that strong. And like, that's what her mom said. Like, I mean, because her mom said, how long do you think? I said, she's going to be there for another couple of weeks. I said, she sat up the other day for like 5 minutes and she had to sit back down because she was dizzy because she's not used to sitting up because she's been laying in bed for 3 weeks, right? So I said, she has deconditioned a bit, but I said, we'll get on her butt. I said, she'll do it. Because I said, she's motivated to come home. She doesn't like the hospital food. So I said, that's all she keeps saying when she talks to me. What are you making for dinner?
Oh.
What did you have for breakfast? Because she knows I'm here and I cook for her, right? So she's motivated to come home. So I said to her, you're going to have, Sylvia gets, I call it lazy. She says she kind of gives up. Sometimes she just has enough. But I'm like, Sylvia, in your condition, you cannot just give up and have enough. I says, you got to keep moving. Because I said, if you're bedbound the entire time, like, you're just going to have to go to a nursing home. And you don't want that, right? She's like, no. I said, well, then get your shit together. I says, ask physiotherapy. There must be something you can do while you're laying in bed. There must be some strengthening, like they can tie those rubber bands to the end of the bed and she can pull on them or something just to get her strength back in her arm. You know what I mean? Because she is very weak. I mean, she was very, very sick. She was like, we thought this time, like, I mean, her mom said to me and like crying, like her mom is like the strongest person I know. Never, just like she even said, because she had phoned me the Tuesday night and she goes, we've made a decision as a family. Now, I've been Sylvia's best friend for 47 years. I'm considered family. I am her daughter. I am Sylvia's sister. Her sister, I'm her sister. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she phones me and she goes, we've made a decision as a family, but you're family and we need to, let you know in case you're there and nobody else is there. And, I said, okay, what's going on? She goes, we've decided that we're going to do not resuscitate on Sylvia. I said, that's a good idea. I said, because there's no way.
Do they have medical power of attorney?
Yes, her mom. Her mom.
Because nobody can make that decision.
No, I know. Her mom does know, but it's in her. What she did was actually put it in the chart. So she has power of attorney, and she made them put it on the chart. So if she wasn't there, they will still abide with her wishes.
Okay. Yeah, I have a DNR.
And the hospital said that was fine as long as Liberty said, do not resuscitate. So I'm like, I said, and the reason being, because we had a hard time with it. Like, Sylvia probably she just turned 60 in July. She probably still has, I'd say, another good 10 years in her.
Yeah.
I think if she keeps herself up and she takes care of herself, she's probably still got another good, Sylvia always said, do not, she always says, put me to sleep.
Yeah.
Unless there's no hope. So I said to Liberty, that's her mom. I said, so there's no hope. So this is the Tuesday night. She'd been asleep now for 2 days and she wasn't waking up. I said, there's no hope. And she goes, that's not the main reason. And I agreed with her. I said, the main reason is because if they resuscitate her, they're going to hurt her. If they shocked her, that's different. But if they do CPR, they're going to break her ribs.
Yeah, well, they determine what would you rather have, being dead or a broken rib? I have.
Okay, no, but you don't understand. With Sylvia having broken ribs,
big deal. Yeah,
it's a big deal because she's bedridden, and it would take so long to heal, and she'd be like, I mean, she's in so much pain now. Like the pain, like the only thing that works on Sylvia. She explained this to me one time because I didn't understand. No painkillers work on her anymore because she's taken so many. Apparently, and I asked my doctor too, apparently when you're like a long-term use painkiller, and not abusing, but just, because of her ailments, if you take so much, after a while, there's a thing in your brain and it switches off and nothing works. I've seen them give her 150 milligrams of fentanyl. Didn't even touch it.
That would.
She's like, yeah, she's like.
That's a lethal dose.
The only thing that works.
Doesn't make sense.
We're laughing so hard. The only thing that works on her is ketamine.
You can get that at
It's really
7-Eleven, can't you?
not here. No, there stuff like that's you. I mean, I'm sure you could get it on the street, but you know what I mean?
I'm surprised. Okay, so she's in pain, right?
Yeah, she's in a lot
I'm
of pain.
surprised the doctors have not prescribed hospice.
Why does she need hospice?
For the pain. For
She's going to pain clinics. No.
If the pain, then the pain clinics aren't working.
I know, but the problem is that there's nothing they can do because
Hospice.
no pain. There's the only thing that works is ketamine, and she can't be stoned out of her mind the rest of her life.
Why?
She doesn't want to be. Would you want to be? You know what I mean? I kid around and I'm like, well, that'd be kind of nice. But I mean, on the other hand, she's going to be out of it all the time.
Yeah.
So, you know, they are talking about different. I mean, they're looking at all the stuff and stuff like that now. They're looking at maybe giving her low dose ketamine for home because she was freaked right out when she knew she was leaving ICU because on the regular ward you can't have ketamine. You can only have it if you're in ICU. It's very regulated here. So she was freaking out because the only other thing that works on her is you have to mix hydromorphone, which is basically morphine, and Ativan.
That's
and
what
then
Grampy Lobster's taking, that combination, and he's in hospice. Grampy has hospice. He is taking both of those. They're oral, they're drops, and it relieves him because the first rule of hospice is you should not hurt. You should not hurt. It's not just for dying. It's also to live your life in quality.
That's why I was a little defensive because we just kind of say, we just kind of saved her life. So it's like, what do you mean hospice? What are you talking about? Yeah. I mean, I can suggest it to her, but I mean, the thing is too, there's so many different levels of pain. Like she's got fibromyalgia, which is one thing, but she also has a lot of nerve damage because she also takes Humira because of her Crohn's. But the Humira damages nerves, and she's got a lot of nerve damage in her feet and her legs. So it's like, it's compounded pain. I mean, most of the time she deals with it okay. I mean, she learns to live with that. So she said to me, she goes, I just deal with it. I mean, sometimes she doesn't, and sometimes she'll lay here and just scream. I mean, one time she screamed so loud, the condos, I mean, they're pretty well insulated, but I guess she screamed so loud that day that the next door neighbor came over. She knocked on the door. She's like, "Is she okay?" I said, "Yeah, she's okay." I said, "She's just having a bad day, right?" But Sylvia also too. I mean, the problem with Sylvia is that she over exaggerates everything. So when she's really sick, sometimes we don't believe her.
Why?
Because she's done this her whole life. She over exaggerates everything. Like I'm just trying to give you an example. She could get a paper cut on her finger and you would swear that she cut her wrist off. She's always been like that. And we tell her, you can't cry wolf all the time because if something's seriously wrong with you, we might not believe you. And that's kind of what happened when she got sick. Because all me and her mother saw was that she was throwing up. That's not a medical emergency to me. I mean, yeah, it's not pleasant, but and my back hurts. And I'm like, yeah, well, your back always hurts, Sylvia. And we figured that maybe her back was sore because she was throwing up and she was in the bed. And I guess if your muscles are contracting in the front and she's tense, maybe we just figured she was having muscle spasms. But she's like, you don't understand. And I'm like, yeah, like that's the problem when she's really sick. Like she won't communicate. She not once. Like, I mean, even the doctor said to us, she must have felt horrible. I said, she never indicated. We kept asking her, are you okay?
But yet you say she
do
cries.
You feel okay? But she was having such bad panic attacks because she was throwing up. So we're all on her, and she realizes now, because I said to her, we're going to bug you for the rest of your life now. You have to communicate with us if you don't feel well. Or if you stub your toe, you can't act like, somebody cut your leg off at the knee. Like, there has to be some balance. So she's just always done this, and we always know. So we feel kind of bad. We feel kind of bad because we didn't realize she was that sick. Because she didn't say anything. But anyway, as I said, thank God.
How old is she now?
She just turned 60 in July. Now you have to understand, she's been sick since she was 17. They didn't know what was wrong with her. Now, again, because of her crying wolf so many times, they didn't believe her. Like the doctors. Because she'd be at the hospital all the time, and I'm in pain. And they just thought she wanted a painkiller and stuff like that. And because she cries wolf so many times, like it was to the point, unfortunately, they didn't believe her. It ended up that she had really bad Crohn's and colitis. She's got both. Yeah, she's a lucky girl. And they had to take out, I think she's only got about 5 feet of bowel left. That's about it. So there's a whole bunch of issues with that because she doesn't really absorb anything. Like, she has to have infusions 3 times a week of calcium, magnesium, potassium, and she has to get vitamin B12 shots. Like, she can't, I'm surprised she can still take her medication, that she absorbs it. Because, we're killing ourselves laughing at the hospital. They want to give her a multivitamin.
Did you say 5 feet only of
5
bowel?
Feet.
Does
Of
that
intestine.
mean she has a bag, an internal bag? External
No,
bag?
it's external. She has an there's a colostomy. Yeah, there's a colostomy or an ileostomy. Colostomy is temporary, ileostomy is permanent.
Yeah.
She's had a bag on her for 25 years now. Yeah, I had 25 years. So there's that. And as I said, since she can't absorb a whole lot, there's issues with vitamins and stuff like that. Just absorption, stuff like that. Like when she eats, you can just, half the time she's just laying here in a tank top, and she's got her diaper on, and the bag hangs. I'm used to the bag. She even taught me years ago, if she's out of it, how to change the whole apparatus. So in case, yeah, that's, and I have no problem with that. I've done it a few times. So she's even trained me to, in case something happens, because that's the first thing when I got to the hospital. I'm like, what's going on with her bag? And they said, we got our own bag on it, and it's going to drain. I said, perfect. Because I said, if you guys need me to change it, I will. They're like, you know how to? I'm like, yeah, she taught me how to do that. Stuff like that. She's been sick for so long. Like, basically, the Crohn's has taken everything from her. Like, she can't walk anymore. It took her teeth. It leaches so much from you. It leached all the calcium from her body, and she was in the hospital one time, and I'm sitting there, and she's eating a pudding with a spoon, and her teeth are all breaking off, and I'm like,
wow.
It was crazy, yeah. So, we've been through this with Sylvia for a long time, but this has been the closest that we were all like, do not resuscitate, and all this stuff, and it was just like, wow,
Is
wow.
Sylvia aware that the family made that decision?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they told her after, because she said, her mom said, I want her to be aware. I don't want a nurse just to tell her, you know what I mean? Like, just to blab it out, or. So I says, yeah, you should tell her. And so she did. And then I went to go visit her one time. And she kind of looked at me seriously. She got tears in her eyes. I'm like, don't you fucking start crying with me. She guys next to me, she goes, I need to ask you. She goes, they were going to do not resuscitate. I said, yeah. And she goes, was I that bad? And I said, no. And she goes, because you guys were too afraid how much they were going to hurt me. And then we said, yes. I said, if they could shock you, okay. I said, Sylvia, could you imagine having broken ribs? She goes, no. She goes, there'd be no way. And I said, exactly. And she goes, okay. She says, I told my mother I didn't want to be taken off any life unless there was like no hope. So I said, at that point, we didn't know because you weren't waking up. So I said, they thought just in case something happened, your mother told them, if you can shock her, that would be better. If you can't shock her, let her go. And I said, it was only because we know they would break your ribs.
So it would be her heart and not kidney failure or pancreatic failure.
Her heart might stop because she does have heart issues. She does have
all her other organs are good.
Like her livers, they're as I said, they're testing the living crap right out of her right now. Her liver's fine, which is good because there's always the threat because she's taken so much medication and she takes so much medication now that she's going to have liver failure or something's going to happen. But they tested it. They said it's actually really good. She's always had, the main issue right now, she's always had low blood pressure. You guys are going to freak out. Sylvia's normal blood pressure, normal. Ours is 120 over 80, right? For Sylvia to be normal, 75 over 45. That's good. That's good for her.
State.
It's always been like that. So there's one of her heart medications that she takes, and it's not really for her heart, but it helps keep her blood pressure up. And every time she goes to the hospital, they always screw around with her medication, and it's like, why? Like, why did you take her off her heart medication? Like, how stupid are you? Because she's got AFib, I think. Like, sometimes it beats too fast. But she doesn't have any really heart issue. What they're trying to find out now, and they've tested her adrenal glands, which are fabulous, apparently. They tested her thyroid, which is fabulous, apparently. Because they thought maybe it was the adrenal glands, because the adrenal glands have something to do with your blood pressure and with sugar, because sometimes her sugar goes really high, but she doesn't have diabetes. So just stuff like that. So right now, and I said to her, I says, I'm glad they're testing with stuff like that, but I said, if they can't figure it out, if they have medication for high blood pressure, there must be medication for low blood pressure. Why can't they just give you medication? And she says maybe they're just worried about yet another medication because she's already on I don't know. You got to see these. I can't even find one. She's got the pill things, right? And she's got she takes pills 4 times a day or 3 times a day, and there's all kinds of pills. But generally, she's doing really good now. Basically, she just has to at this point. I think they were doing an MRI on her. They did a CAT on her stomach already. The stomach's fine, the liver's fine. I think they're doing it on her spine. So I'm glad they're doing something this time because me and her mother, as I said, we freaked out and said, you have to find out what's going on. Because I said, all you guys do it. And I said, we understand that when you're septic, they have to be bombarded with antibiotics. That's fine. But you have to find what's going on because this is the 3rd time she's been septic since January. And you guys are going to kill her. So she talked to me about the, do not resuscitate. And she goes, was that true? I says, yeah. I says, your mom phoned me on the Tuesday. You were still asleep. And she said that her and your son and your sister Fabian sat down and said, listen, we're not sure what's going on. And, her mom decided as her power of attorney, that there'd be no way. And we all agreed. I said, that's the right decision because she was conflicted about that for a couple of days. And I said, could you imagine? And I said to Liberty, really, could you imagine Sylvia with broken ribs? I mean, seriously, do you know what we would go through if she had broken ribs? And we all started laughing a little bit, right? So I said to Sylvia, that was the only concern. It's not that, there was no hope. We were more worried for you. And she goes, about the ribs. I said, yeah. So I said, because I said, like, seriously, you lay here and you say, oh, it'll be no problem. But I said, Sylvia, like, you're already in enough pain and you're already complaining enough now. I says, I know for a fact you can't do broken ribs. I know that.
Well, if she's in a hospital setting, though, they don't do CPR in a hospital. They get out the paddles. They're always right outside the door. So there wouldn't be a risk of that in a hospital setting.
Oh, okay. We didn't know that.
Street, if somebody's sitting next to me on the bus and they can't, I'll do CPR and probably break.
Oh, we didn't know that. I mean, we don't know, right? So we don't know if they're going to do compression or they're going to. We didn't know what they were going to. We didn't know what they were going to do. Okay.
They wheeled the crash cart in. Boom. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, luckily it didn't. Luckily, she woke up. It didn't have to come to that point. So. Yeah. But even she was like, "Wow, I came close." I'm like, "Well, yeah. If you're in the room with the white light, it came close." She goes, I can't believe that happened. And I'm like, because as soon as she said it, I guess I went white. And she's like, are you okay? And I said, holy crap, Sylvia. She goes, I know. And I says, she goes, the voice. And she goes, it's really funny because she goes, the voice sounded familiar. I says, was it your dad? And she goes, I don't know. She goes, I know it was a man. And she goes, basically, there's like beautiful. She goes, this beautiful white light. And I'm like, oh my God, Sylvia. She's like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, Jesus. And she's like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, oh. And then she said it basically said, if you want to, you can go now, but it's not your time. So he said, I will give you the choice. And she said, no.
Boy, there are so many stories like that. And they're almost identical. People having that particular experience about, well, sometimes they just decide to not go toward the light, but being
exactly told, sometimes you just
it is. I find that just fascinating. There's no I can't.
And it's so funny because like for so many years, like she knows I'm into the paranormal and stuff like that, and she doesn't believe, and that's that's fine. And she's like, now I'm kind of like, maybe when I get it, we can talk more about stuff. I said, sure, whatever you want to know, right? I said, because she's like, now I'm kind of like, wow, like, because she goes, I hear all these people. And she goes, I told the doctor, and the doctor was smiling. He's like, yeah, he goes, that's normal. He goes, you were pretty sick. And he goes, we didn't know if you were going to come back or not. So he says, but and she said, like, does it happen? He goes, oh yeah. He goes, we have all kinds of, he goes, people wake up and, they heard us talking and, he goes, like, they were dead. Like they were like, we're working on them. And they said they could hear us, talking, and and I said the same with me. I could hear them talking. I could hear him talking about, I could hear the doctor talking about his kid was going to graduate high school and all, and all this. Because when I woke up and I saw him the next day, I recognized him, and I'd never seen him before. And I says, I know you from the operating table. And he looked at me because, of course, when he came in, I wasn't conscious because I was already out. And I says, I remember you from the operating table. And he looked at me. He goes, what do you mean? I says, I was in the corner. I says, you were talking about your son with the football scholarship. He's like, oh my God. I said, yeah. Wow. He goes, you were gone. I said, yeah, I know. I says, he goes, where were you? I says, I was in the corner. I says, I said, 1 minute I'm asleep or whatever. And the next minute I'm like high up in the ceiling in the corner. And I look down and I can see you guys working on me. And I'm like, what am I doing up here? And he said to me, I'll never forget. He goes, why did you come back? I said, because I was cold. He started laughing. He goes, you don't like being cold? I said, nope. I said, I knew that if I laid down on my body, I'd be warm. So I said, that's what I did. I don't know how I guess I just thought it. And I remember coming down from the ceiling and my feet hitting the ground. Because I remember the floor was cold too. And I was like, ooh, I don't like this. And I knew that if I laid down on my body, I'd get warm. And that's what I did. And then that's all I remember. I remember laying down and that was it. And the doctor's like, wow.
Well, when I did my flatline experience, because I had a miscarriage between my first and second baby, and there was something going wrong and I didn't know it. And you should not take a bath and soak in a bathtub when everything is just all open in there, like a fucking umbrella. And so that set me up for a little infection. And it just, a couple, weeks went by and I don't remember going to the hospital.
Yeah.
But I remember, being, in the gurney, things dangling up above that you're dangling, going down the hallway. And I woke up and the doctor said, and I said, I'm in the hospital. And he says, yes, you were. He was very poetic. He said, you were sick unto death. I flatlined. Yeah. And they had to do the paddles on me. But, and then when I woke up the second time, my mother was standing by me. And boy, my sister says I was such a fucking bullshitter. My mother woke up, and my mother, who had been so cruel to me my whole life, my entire life, I got the elbows to the head, I got the backhands across the face with a big, thick wedding ring on. My mother was standing by the bed, and in that instant, I forgave her. When I woke up, she was holding my hand. There were tears in her eyes. First time I ever saw emotion from my mother. And I forgave her at that instant. And I told my older sister, also a fucking asshole, that I did that. She says, oh, you bullshitter. You cannot forgive her. But when before I woke up, I only experienced oblivion.
Yeah, I didn't see any white. There was no white light. All
it was like the deepest, most profound peace. Peace for me, and I'd never had that before.
Yeah,
and so that was. But I'm fascinated by everybody else's stories.
Yeah, no, it was so weird because I remember. Yeah, because all I remember, and it was so funny because I can remember them talking. I kept thinking to myself, why am I on the ceiling? Because I was like right in the corner. And I'm looking around. I remember looking around and I'm like, why am I up here? And I realized, because at that time my hair was like really long. My hair was like down practically to my knees. And I could see my hair hanging off the bed because I guess they were working or whatever. And the bun came out or whatever. And I realized it was me on the table. And I'm like, oh shit. This isn't good. Like, and I thought to I remember kept shivering. And I really don't like being cold. And I remember thinking, I came down. Yeah, see, it's kind of a blur sometimes. I did come down because I said to the doctor, that's right. I forget some of it. When I left the room, I came down and I left the room because for some reason in my mind, I kept thinking I needed to get help. But when I left the room, I didn't pass through the door. The door opened because they thought it was strange that they're in the operating room and the door opened and there was no one there. That was me pushing the door to get out. And I remember that because I remember telling the doctor the next day, I said, the door opened, right? He looked at me. I said, that was me. He goes, what do you mean? I said, I was on the ceiling and then I came down and I thought to myself, I had to go get help. Because I figured you guys were too busy working on me. And I went in the hallway and then everyone was passing me. And then I realized that nobody could see me. And I thought, okay, well, this is stupid.
Boy, the story gets just fucking better and better.
I just remembered. This was a long time ago. I remember that part because I remember telling him the door opened, right? He goes, yeah. I said, that was me because I went in the hallway. But when I came back, I don't remember if it opened again. And that's when I came back, I was getting more and more cold. I remember my feet were cold because of the floor. And for some reason, I knew that if I laid down on my body, I'd get warm. So that's what I decided to do. And that's all I remember. So and apparently it was only because I asked the doctor, I was like, how long was I gone? And he says, you were gone about maybe 15 seconds. I was like, okay. But he goes, you were like, He goes, your heart just stopped. He goes, like, you know, because I was on, it was, they were checking, I had pneumonia, and they were doing some probe, like I was out.
By Cody's place.
So they had put the scope down, and for whatever reason, my heart stopped. So they took the scope out, and they started, you know, doing whatever. But he said, you were only...
They told you what happened step by step like that?
I asked them. Because I said, I said to him, what happened? I said, like, I mean, obviously. I said, what happened? He goes, we don't know. Your heart just stopped.
Well, I had Kaiser. They only told me that I flatlined and they had to paddle. They gave you details. Damn, yeah. I had Kaiser.
I asked him. No, he was a really good doctor because he was so freaked out, especially with the door opening. And about him talking about, because I remember him talking about his son had a football scholarship because he was so proud. And he goes, and he looked right, he goes, you look dead. And I'm like, I said, I heard you. I said, because I was in the corner. I heard you talking about the football scholarship. He's like, holy crap. And then that's when then I asked him, I said, what happened? I said, like, how long was I gone? And he said, no. He goes, like 10 or 15 seconds. He goes, it wasn't long. But he goes, we put the scope down. He goes, everything was fine. And he said, your heart stopped.
What? So they put the scope down looking for what?
They put the scope down to look at one of my lungs.
One of your lungs? Huh.
I'm pretty sure it was something to do with my lung. I remember it was a scope. I remember that because they told me when you wake up, your throat's probably going to be sore because of the scope.
Oh, it wasn't for a breathing tube or anything?
No, it wasn't a breathing tube. They put a scope down with a camera. I don't know. Maybe I'm confusing it. I thought it was for my lungs. Maybe it was something. I'm pretty sure because when I was younger, like I've had pneumonia and bronchitis, all kinds. So I think they were looking at something. I just don't remember. It was something to do with my lungs. I remember it was a scope. That's all I remember. I don't remember.
Do you remember what you went in for?
I went in because I had double pneumonia again. This is the third time.
The lungs.
Yeah, so because this is the third time in about 3 months. I had double pneumonia because I'd had it
in your bloodstream. Wow.
I'm sorry?
Toxic in your bloodstream?
I just don't know. I just don't remember. I don't remember. Because I don't think I remember because I was asleep when they took me down. So, and I don't remember them saying anything about a test, but my mom told me later. The only reason I know is my mom told me later. And that's what she told me. It was a scope for my lungs and my heart stopped. Because that's what the doctor told me. And then I asked my parents, and that's what they told me.
Holy fuck.
So, yeah. But he goes, we don't know why. He goes, your heart stopped. He goes, we're all looking at you like, what are you doing? Like, you know, because I was only like 20 and I didn't have any heart problems or anything. And so they were like, what are you doing? Like, you know, what's going on? And then, of course, all the bells are going off and stuff like that. And he said, do you remember us shocking you? And I says, no, because I said at that time, I said, I don't remember you doing that because I was probably in the hallway looking for somebody to help me. And I says, I was only in the hallway for a few minutes. And then I realized people couldn't see me. And then I came back and I figured, okay, I'm just going to lay down because I'm cold. He's like, wow. But he said he's heard that a few times before too, that people decided to come back if they were cold. And it's like, yeah. He goes, you didn't see any white light or nothing? I said, no. I said, I was here in the room. I said, that's all I remember. Is just, I remember being in the corner and then I came down and I went in the hallway to find somebody because I didn't want to bug you guys because you were working on me. So he goes, oh, okay. Because he goes, we shocked you. And he said, you came right back. Because he goes, we were all like, oh, okay. And I says, I remember walking back, but I says, I don't remember what you guys were doing. All I remember is I wanted to lay down. So I said, I guess that's what I was concentrating on. And so I guess maybe by that time too, you guys were finished with, I guess I'd come back. I mean, I don't know. But I remember distinctly laying down and then I don't remember anything. So he was like, wow. So, but he was saying too, because we were actually talking, I went to go see Sylvia on Friday. And she was saying She goes, I think I see things. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, it was the middle of the night. And she goes, this happened last week. And she goes, it was the middle of the night. And she goes, like this black shadow went by the door. And I kind of smiled. And she goes, what? I says, I have many nurses. And I says, even my doctor has said so many things go on in hospitals you wouldn't even believe. He goes, ghost hunters should go to the hospital. He said, and so she asked one of the nurses, and I was there, and she goes, she said to me, she goes, what should I call it? I said, shadow person. So she says, yeah, she says, because she doesn't know, right? So, because I said, was it solid black? She goes, yeah, like no features, but like all outline of. I said, yeah, I was a shadow person. So before the nurse came, so what is it again? I said, shadow person. She goes, okay. So the nurse comes in. She goes, can I ask you kind of a weird question? And the nurse kind of smiled, and she goes, yeah. And she goes, do you see strange things in the hospital? And the nurse kind of smiled, and she goes, oh yeah. And she goes, what do you mean? And she goes, have you seen shadow people? She goes, oh yeah. And she goes, oh okay. And she goes, why? And she goes, I saw one walk by my room the other night. And she goes, the nurse said most of the time they're usually fine. They don't bother anybody. But she goes, yeah, there's around. She goes, we see ghosts all the time. And she goes, we have this one thing. They call it the creeper. And they know whenever they see this thing called the creeper, that somebody's going to die. Like usually within an hour. Because usually what it does is it goes in the person's room who's going to die. And then usually within an hour they die. So they said whenever they see the creeper, that's what they call it. And they said it's not a shadow person. This is something else. They said it's very creepy. That's why they call it the creeper. I said like the shadow people are creepy, but they said this is different. So, and I asked my doctor one time, because I said like, I'm the paranormal and stuff like that. And he goes, yeah. And I says, do you see stuff at the hospital? He goes, oh yeah. He goes all the time. He goes like,
what's the name of this place again?
Yeah, really.
Toronto. All the hospitals in Toronto apparently they're all haunted.
No, the one you're telling the story about.
She's at Sunnybrook Hospital.
Sunnybrook.
Yeah,
Toronto?
Sunnybrook. Yep.
Hey. Okay.
Yeah, so Sunnybrook. I was in Toronto General.
Toronto.
And that's where my doctor works out of, and he says he's seen a lot of ghosts. And he said there too, there's this, they call it the shadow of death or something like that. It's the same kind of thing as this creeper thing. Like if they see this, that they know somebody's going to die within an hour. So it's like, wow. He's like, yeah.
Well, I wonder if they have meetings and talk about this shit.
I'm sure he says they do, because and I've talked to, like, I've had for some reason, a lot of my friends, were nurses. And they all talk about things that go on in the hospitals. And they said, especially down in the basement where the morgue is. Like he said, like, you ask any of the nurses, you want to go down in the morgue? Nope. Nope. Because he all down there, like, they're all, he was the ones that don't realize that they're dead are all wandering around trying to figure out what's going on, right? And it was like, wow, like, you don't think of this stuff in a hospital, right? But it was funny Sylvia mentioned, because I said it was funny because before she had gone in, she'd asked me, I guess she saw some show or something on TikTok, and she goes, what's a shadow person? So I explained it to her the best that I knew how. And I says, usually they're usually considered bad. Like if you see a shadow person, like it's like, but they're not demons or anything. But I said, I guess it's more than a ghost. I says, it's hard to explain. And then that's what she said. And she goes, it's so black. And I says, yeah. I said, that's what I've heard. But I said, like, solid black. You don't see features. You don't see a nose. You don't see ears. You just see like the outline. And she goes, pitch black. I says, yeah. And she goes, that's what I saw.
So
yeah. She goes, sorry, go ahead, Six.
So this is what we're going to do. This is a new life hack, literally. Excuse the pun. But if you're in the Toronto hospitals and you see this shadow person that's coming for you, that is, you see him hanging around and come for you. That is where you check out of that hospital and find you a different hospital to go to, because it looks to
Get
me
on a
like if
plane
you
and
see
come to Cedar
go
Sinai.
to a different, you see that one kind of sniffing around your area, that's where you check out, it's going to be a complete fail. You try your odds and go to
all
a
the
different
hospitals. Because my doctor, as I said, my doctor works at a totally different one, and he said the same thing about this shadow of death thing.
What,
You know,
maybe all it
that's
took
what
was a
that's what
different
they
doctor,
call it.
man. I don't
That's
know.
what they call it. And some of the other nurses that I know that work in Scarborough in the hospitals, they said the same thing. There's this thing that they know if they see it, that somebody's going to die.
I have worked with doctors and around medicine for more than 25 years now. Wow. And nobody has ever, I've never even overheard a conversation like that. And I've been with the dead and dying. And I have never, wait, hold up. There was when my mother was dying. She was an old Irish dame and loved her Scotch rocks. When she was dying in a hospital bed in our living room, when we had hospice there, it was her time. And she looked up at the ceiling and she says, "Do you see the ceiling waving, rippling?" And I was all jokey, because I'm an asshole. So I kind of snuggled in on the bed with her and I looked at her and I said, "No." And she said, "Oh, look, isn't she beautiful?"
My grandmother did the same thing.
She saw her fetch. I'm getting goosebumps just telling that story. I think so much of this stuff is bullshit, but I cannot deny that experience. My mother saw a beautiful entity come up where the ceiling started rippling. And I'm still getting fucking goosebumps.
I know.
She saw her fetch. The old Irish girl, believed in fairies and believed in the fetch. It's spelled F-E-T-C-H. Fetch. They come for you, Philip.
Yeah.
In the chat, they come for you. I'm still getting goddamn goosebumps.
That's probably your mother's spirit going through you because you're talking about it.
Oh, stop that. Shut up.
I'm just saying. No, but it's funny because I talked to like some of the nurses I knew too were specifically in palliative care. And they talk about, they know when somebody's going to die because they always say that even if somebody's asleep for a long time, if you wake up and you're lucid and stuff like that for a couple hours, they know that it's going to be soon because they're just basically waking up to say goodbye. Or they say a lot of the times you'll see people that are near death and they're always reaching up. And they figure it's them hugging.
Oh, fuck,
they're hugging whoever's coming for them. Like, I remember my grandmother, me and my father thought she was nuts. Like, she had a bunch of strokes. So she was okay. She was basically about maybe 6 or 7 years old at the, because of the, the strokes and stuff. And they had phoned us and said, it's going to be soon. And so me and my dad go racing over there. And we're standing beside her and stuff like that. And she's babbling away about something. And all of a sudden she stops. And she looks at the end of the bed and she's like, "Oh, sweetness, did you come for me?" And me and my dad are like, we're looking at the bed. We're like, what? I'm like, "Do you see anything?" He's like, "I don't see anything." It's like, and he's like, "Ma, who are you talking to?" She goes, "I'm talking to Sid, for God's sakes. He's standing at the end of the bed." Sid was her husband. He'd been dead for like 15 years. And she's like, "Sid, he's in the bed. Can't you see him?" And we're like, "No." She goes, "He's standing right there." She goes, "He wants me to go with him." And we're like, I'm looking at my dad and he's looking at me and my dad's like, "So go." And she's like, I remember it was so cute. She looked at him like, "It's okay if I go?" And he's like, "Of course it's okay if you go." And then she closed her eyes. That was it. Off she went. We're like, wow. And we said, I remember saying to the nurse, she saw her husband, and she said, a lot of people say that at the end, they're looking at somebody either at the side of the bed or at the end of the bed, and they're smiling.
And things happen in the brain. Nature is kind. It's very kind. Things happen in the brain. And a lot of this is scientific. chemicals happen, and it's just like almost a self-soothing.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah. You never know. You never know.
You don't know.
You don't know.
You don't.
Because I mean,
and Philip Blair. Okay, here's an Irish primer for you, darling. Okay, number one, make friends with Thomas Sheridan. He's the Irish asshole. And number two, you have to celebrate every St. Patrick's Day. Okay.
Yes.
You have to have a.
You have to.
You have to wear a ring bearing the claddagh.
That's right.
A pin, a tie tack, anything bearing the claddagh.
That's right.
And okay, what else? Always wear green on St. Patrick's Day.
That's right.
And then, Philip, when it's time for you to check out, you'll see your fetch. I promise you.
Yep.
And if I'm lying, come back afterward and get me.
Hey, come back and haunt me. Yeah, come back and haunt me. Yeah, that's what I always say. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, look, Philip Blair is already. He's already getting into the groove. Do that. Okay. Now you have to have an affection for bagpipes. That's not really Irish, but some of the Irish.
Oh no, you do.
No,
every time I hear bagpipes, I don't know what it is. I'm sobbing.
When she came back from Ireland on one of her trips, she bought, what'd she get? These CDs. No, before CDs, these tapes of bagpipe music. And every time I went over to visit my mother after that one of those last trips went into fucking bagpipe music. And I wanted to stab myself in the ears. What happened? What happens after that? My youngest daughter, one of my brilliant kids, marries a fucking Scotsman. He wears a kilt to their wedding. He's learning the fucking bagpipes.
But Robin, when my ex-husband was a Scottish, their crest was it was touch not the cat, but with a glove. And that was I even learned, and I even learned a little Scottish ditty. You want to hear it real quick? It's real short.
Sure. Even if it's
what
long.
Does a Are you ready?
Yeah.
What does a Scotsman wear under his kilt? A wang, a wang.
That's good. A wang, a wang.
Oh boy, you know what? Yeah. I have seen my son-in-law in kilts countless times, because where another gentleman might wear a sporty dressy, he would wear his fucking kilt. In all these 30 years, I have never asked him.
They're not supposed to. Nothing under the kilt. Nothing.
I don't care. I don't want to know.
Do they wear the cute little flag by his socks? You know how they got the neat little socks, and they tuck it down and has a little flag that tucks out underneath their little.
Did you say tuck it down better than tucking it up?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to tuck if you're in the kilt. Oh, that's too funny.
Mooncake's dog is getting a kilt made.
Aw.
A kilt for the dog.
How sweet. Renee, did John wear a kilt?
It's going to be a Scotty dog.
I didn't know you wore a kilt at your wedding, John. Well, maybe John. I didn't. I forgot it.
I saw the picture of John sharing tattoos. They had the same tattoo with the other guy.
Oh, I know. Wow. That's so gay, John.
It's not gay.
It's
John.
just like the guys who love wrestling. They like to see those greased bodies throwing each other around. You closet homos.
Is John screaming? I can't see the chat.
John,
he's probably driving and like cussing, and people think he's got road rage. God damn it. Shut up, Robin. Just type it in there, Jonocide. Shut up, Robin. Everybody else does it.
Some people do it. Yeah.
That's too funny.
Okay,
That's
Philip.
Grampy speak for "I love you."
When your best friend passed, the best song was a Scottish bagpipes playing the John Dunbar theme to Dances with Wolves. Philip Blair, goosebumps. I know exactly what you're talking about. The John Dunbar theme to Dances with Wolves. Yes, yes. Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, I know I asked, every time I hear bagpipes, I'm like sobbing. And I asked my grandmother, and she goes, "It's because you're Irish." And I was like, okay. And she goes, most of the time when the Irish played the bagpipes, it was for something sad. So she goes, maybe it's just an inherent thing. And I was like, I don't know. I said, I think they're beautiful, but seriously, like sobbing. I don't know why.
When a few years ago, I was in this little apartment, and the guy in the apartment next door, every once in a while, when I was in the bathroom, I would hear him practicing his bagpipes. It was just, and I would stay in the bathroom a really long time. And then when he'd finish, I'd clap like a geek. And then pretty soon, this big station wagon would pull up and pick him up with other guys with the tams, and so he'd be going off to perform. I as much as I hated it in my 20s, I adore bagpipes.
Yeah, you appreciate it now, yeah.
I adore bagpipes, and it's so significant. It's that bagpipe music signifies so many profound events.
Yeah.
Over eons.
Years and years, yeah. Yeah, so many years.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I haven't heard bagpipe. I haven't heard them for a long time, so maybe I won't cry anymore. But I mean, I think my dad at one point said too, it gets easier when you get older. Because I said to him, I don't know why. He goes, it must be some like inherent thing you have that, a lot of the times, especially the Irish, when they play the bagpipes, it's usually because it's something really bad and like really sad.
Yeah.
So he goes, maybe it's just some inherent thing you have in you because, look at me. We're Irish from way back, and stuff like that, right? So maybe if I listen now, because I think it's beautiful, but I'm just so sick and tired of crying all the time when I hear them, like seriously, like sobbing, crying, and it's like, Jesus, like, what do you think? What's wrong with you, right? But as I said, I haven't heard them for a long time, so maybe it won't affect me so much now. But my dad said, I remember him saying that it gets easier when you get older. It's like, okay. And it's like my dad. It's funny. It's like my dad, like his memories too. Like every time he heard Ave Maria, he sobbing. It didn't matter, Yeah.
Because when I hear bagpipes, I
cry at Malagueña Salerosa.
I don't even know what
that's
that
an
is.
Old Spanish folk.
Yeah. Okay.
Malagueña.
When I hear bagpipes, just grab you some, like, I don't know, makeup, and then smear it across half your face, and then pace back and forth, and in a Scottish accent, make this great inspirational speech about freedom. And unless you're at a funeral, don't do that at a funeral, but any other time, just go ahead and smear it, do the Mel Gibson, like, what's that, Braveheart?
Yeah,
do the
Braveheart. Okay, Philip Blair.
Just pace back and forth and just do an inspiration. I don't care if it's about like making a Pop-Tart. We're going to have the best Pop-Tart. They'll have the best fucking icing across from pastry edge to pastry edge.
Cue the fireworks. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to do so we don't cry.
Philip Blair, Ave Maria was fun to sing in choir. Philip Blair, okay. Did you ever have to sing Sanctus? Sanctus. Did you ever have to? Oh, that was a bitch. I was first soprano.
I was thinking of that one that they play in that scary movie, different Sanctus.
I'm just going to put you guys, I'll be back in a second, okay? I'm just going to put the phone down. I'll be back in just a sec, okay? I'll be right back.
Okay, I'm going to blank out.
1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. She lied. She lied to us again. She said just a second. 4 Mississippi.
No,
See
it's
how
not.
She is?
No, it's Philip Blair. It's not song to song S. Okay, songtooth. Okay, let me think. Okay, because I sang it. In fact, my high school choir recorded it. We had a big long play record of us sing Ganesha High School Concert Choir. SAN.
I think Mooncake probably got it.
Songtooth. Oh, thank you, Mooncake. Oh my God, Mooncake saves me once again. Songtooth.
I don't know what that means.
That's the song we sang in high school choir. And it was on an actual album. We had an album. I think my middle daughter has it.
Okay, grief.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That would be kind of depressing to give to a kid.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I didn't want to take you to the bathroom with me. I mean, right? Well, I was going to, and I thought, no, I can't do that with these guys.
You could if you wanted to.
Me and my friends, we're used to, going to the bathroom. And,
you're here with your granny and your auntie or your cousin or what?
My sister from another mister.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's her other sister's sister.
Oh,
isn't my sister
means
and her other sister Daryl.
Okay. Mooncake. We also did something about see the conquering hero come. Yeah, something. Yeah, we.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah. I don't know why. Yeah, it sounds familiar. Yeah.
Oh my God, there were 12 songs and on that album, and I can only remember one.
Thank goodness.
I hated every moment. Oh, Ganesha, Philip Blair, my Ganesha High School in Pomona, California, the roughest, toughest. You could hear gunshots after dark. I grew up in Pomona, and I raised my kids in Pomona. We escaped unscathed because here I am to talk about it. But yeah, Ganesha High School. And then I switched to a Catholic private girls' school in the middle of my junior year because I happened to be dating, I was fucking a married man. And one of my friends sort of knew about it, and she blew my cover.
She blabbed?
In the ladies' room. And the ladies' room, she shouted out, that guy, Uncle Wayne, who drops you off at school, he's a married man. And
Ooh, 10 Commandments.
I got away with this with my mom. She wasn't the brightest bulb. So I asked her, because there was this Catholic girls' school 2-3 blocks away from where we had this apartment. And I asked her if I could go to this Catholic girls' school, $20 a month for non-Catholics. Oh my God, you guys, now it's like $400. But back then, $10 for Catholics, $20 for non-Catholics. And I could hold it over my mother because she kept this bond that I got from my dead grandmother as part of her inheritance. So my mother blew my $250 bond. So it was sort of like blackmail. I said, Mom, this is the way you can pay back that bond. I want to go to the school that's around the corner and I'll get a better education. So I graduated high school from this semi-prestigious Catholic girls' school because I was fucking around with a married man. I wound up marrying him. We were married for more than 20 years. I had 3 children, two of whom are left. They are brilliant, beautiful children. I am so fucking lucky.
That's a great story.
The roll of the dice, you guys. It was nothing I ever did right in my whole life. But damn, I am closer to death than I've ever been. And I have these stellar children born of this quirky relationship that started when I was dating. I met him when I was 12. He grew to me. We did it the
Wait.
day after my 15th
Wait,
birthday.
wait,
because
wait.
I was failing.
Hold on. Let's pull over to the side of the curb.
What?
Don't say it.
What?
Sweetheart. You
Huh?
met him when you were how old?
12.
How old was this guy?
At the time, okay, 12, 14, 24, 12, 22, 23. He was 26.
Oh no. Oh, okay. All right, baby girl. Well, back then was a different time and all, but
Well,
that's
I
a
was
little
a
rough.
product of a broken home. I was easy.
Oh,
And you know what the neat thing is? That my very, very adult, past middle-aged children know the story now.
Oh, that's cool.
And I did a lot of fucking up as a mother. I didn't do mothering good, even though my children say I did. But you know, so now my very adult children know the whole story.
The whole story, yeah.
And
No, I was going to ask if they knew the whole, That's pretty
and
cool.
now
I wanted
they're
to make sure I
learning.
heard that right.
Huh?
I want to make because I used to work with airplanes in the Navy, and I didn't know if I heard that right. Okay, yeah, that's harsh. That's a little rough, girl. You go with your bad self.
Bad,
Yeah,
bad self. Oh, okay. This is my show. I can tell anything.
that's right.
Okay,
That's
and
right.
only recently, I have my daughters and I have been talking about the half siblings they have from dalliances. Mm-hmm.
Half siblings from your husband?
Yeah.
Okay.
Their dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gets really interesting. I want to send out 23andMe shit to everybody I've ever met my whole life. It's interesting as fuck. Sometimes we go through life living this life we think we're living. And then after, as time goes on, you go, wait a minute, there was other shit going on when I was paying attention. Yeah.
Somewhere out there, I got an older half sister named Sherry.
Oh, wow.
Do you?
Yeah. Somewhere closer to you. Last time I heard, my brothers got to meet her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oregon.
Toast Minion. No celebrity. Honey, they're in my description. There is a way to support my bad habits. So if you'll scroll down a little bit, you will see how to click on how to. It used to be called Buy Me a Coffee, but I've changed it to support my habits. So, honey, burnt toast minion, if you would like to do that, partake.
Partake.
There are two kinds of people in this world: Robin Eagle song fuck ups and
everybody else.
Speaking of fuck ups, you wanted to hear about what I've been rubbing off lately? Remember my car accident?
Wait. You need to. Would you like to reword that? Would you like to rephrase that?
I had to say that. I mean, come on. I mean, you'd be disappointed if I didn't put it that way.
Right. I think there's something wrong with you.
Remember the little hit and run?
I've
been rubbing off the scrub marks off the car, on the cars and stuff. I'm pretty impressed. I got a lot of it off.
John, you know what I did, John? My donations, I have gotten donations, and I was surprised to go into my PayPal and I discovered like $68. You know what I did?
Yes.
I sent most of it to Grampy. Because he was almost out of cigarettes. Yeah. So you know what? It's like the recycle.
Grampy smokes cigarettes too. Oh, Jesus.
Shut up.
I'm just saying.
It's the great circle of funding on YouTube, friends. You guys, it gets redistributed. I don't think I've ever used a penny of anything I've gotten.
Yeah, it's your money. You can do whatever you want with it. So, right?
Do everything.
That's too funny.
Mooncake. Yeah, I do harass Grampy. I'll harass that motherfucker.
Oh, and how much is it? And how much does Grampy harass you? I mean, hello. You guys are hysterical. You guys should be married or something. It's hysterical.
No. I almost threw up a little bit.
No, that's my intention.
No, he's my little brother.
Could you imagine? I'll mention it to Grampy next time, but I think you guys should be married. You'll probably come and kill me.
Oh,
some nice lady stepped up and took the bullet.
Brother. You know, the
errant, speak to me again.
The errant little brother.
Yeah, some very nice lady. She stood up and took the bullet for us all, and she married Grampy.
Oh, who are you talking?
God bless her. God bless her.
Mrs. Lobster.
Oh,
Mrs. Lobster.
She stepped up to the plate and took one for the team and married Mr. Lobster.
God bless her.
Oh, he's, you know, what I find is so dear that I didn't have, you know, when I was hooked up in a legal situation. Grampy says that Mrs. Lobster is the sweetest person he's ever known. That just makes me melt.
Aww,
hear Grampy Lobster say that shit about his wife. How often do you hear that?
Aww. Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Not often. Yeah, not often. You know.
Yeah.
How long have they been married? Do you know?
10, 15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so it's been a while.
He's his third present.
Oh, Jesus, okay.
I know, Jesus, right? I could only endure one.
Go, Grampy.
Man, I couldn't go on the first. I couldn't go on after that. One marriage.
I even got married. I never even got married once. It was like, yeah, I'm not doing that shit. No, sorry. I'm not buying that crap. You know.
I tried it once and ran screaming into the night and joined the Navy.
Well, there you go. You know, I just decided way back when that a piece of paper wasn't going to determine my relationship with anybody. You know, and plus my parents. I mean, unfortunately, like they should never have gotten married. And I remember me and my brother begging them to get divorced, and they wouldn't because my mother had visions. Because my mother was such a bitch. That had visions that we'd never speak to her ever again, and that was probably true. So she basically told us that she was going to stay together with my father so that, you know, she could torment us the rest of her life, basically.
Fuck.
Yeah, it was good. But yeah, so I saw them, and it was funny because my brother never got married. You know, neither of us got married or had kids. It was like, I'm not doing that to a child. Because, I mean, they always say, you know, you're going to be raised the way, you know, you were raised. Well, that ain't going to happen. And plus, I mean, I knew back then, too, because I just never had this. You hear all these women, they have this burning desire to have a baby. Get a cat. It's like, I think babies are very cute. My grandmother, she put it perfectly. Newborn babies, they smell fabulous and they're really cute. And all they do is sleep, shit, and eat, and that's good. And then they grow up, and you know, no. My mom always said too that, you know, I hope you have one just like you, and I'm not going through that.
That's the curse of
I'm not doing that because I was like I turned 13, and I don't know what happened to me, but apparently I turned into Satan. Okay, for like the next 6-7 years. I went nuts. But I knew way back when that I just didn't have it in me to have a baby. I mean, I remember getting shit from women. What, you could have a baby and you're not going to? And it's like, what, I should have one just because I can? Yeah, and I'm like, and how stupid is that?
I poke myself in the eye too, but do I want?
I think, you know, exactly. I think that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Oh, what about all the women? You know, what about all the women who want, you know, who want children? Like, take my eggs, take them. You know.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, I know I'm not going to be a good mother. I don't have it in me. It's 13 years of age. I already knew that. Okay, you know. And
I
plus, this whole
can
thing,
fill the swimming pool with sharks with lasers on their heads, but will I? No.
I know there are many choices in life. Yeah, you know what? All I could think
And
about
that's not a hard no.
all I could think about as a prepubescent was getting married, being Betty Crocker, being Betty Furness,
Nope.
dusting every day, vacuuming, cooking, making babies. You guys, I was mental. That's all I thought about. So I got married. Okay,
Barefoot and pregnant.
Barefoot. You know what? My ex-husband, my children's father, uttered that phrase to me. I want to keep you barefoot and pregnant. Man, I was all on board with that. Holy cow. Fuck me and let me cook you breakfast. You guys. Okay, so I did 20 years of that. I was a good wife, man. Okay, I can remember 3 times it didn't happen. My ex-husband got coffee in bed every morning of our marriage. 20.
God bless you.
Oh, fuck me. Are you kidding? And I ironed his shirts. I packed his lunches. I grew gardens. I did my hair in hot rollers every day, every single day, you guys. I did not own a baseball cap. How many do I own now?
Have you seen my hair out of a ponytail? Yeah, but I don't do hats.
So I did this wife thing. So when I decided that, since I met him when I was 12, I grew up. So after a time, I realized that he was stuck there when he charmed me. And then it took me years, you guys, to go, what have I done? What have I done? But I still did the good wife thing. I did all the stuff.
Good.
Grew the gardens, did the cooking,
clean the house, kept the kids, and all that.
Okay. To cut the story short, after 21 years of this, I decided I never wanted to see another dick my entire life, because of course, you guys, the unsaid is there was a great deal of the dick shit going on. And so I decided, after that, I didn't want to see another dick. So I tried being a lesbian for a while. Okay, you guys, something I've never stated publicly. I tried being a lesbian for a while. How'd that work out for you, Robin?
How'd that work out for you, Robin?
To answer that question, I wasn't good at it.
Robin, at least you tried.
I gave it a go.
Which part was your favorite part?
There were no favorite parts except there was no dick.
That was your favorite part?
There was no
dick was my favorite part. I wasn't good at it.
And so the favorite part was the part that was missing.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, that's kind of a.
Yeah, you guys, to put it in perspective, I spent 7 years trying to be a lesbian. I also tried a little cocaine at the time, maybe not. But it didn't work out. So now coming for the last 20 years or more, I'm just happily doing nothing but living on my memories.
Yeah, me too.
So did you do the cocaine?
I can't be bothered. Yeah, I can't be bothered. I haven't had a boy. I mean, and I'm okay with it. Like, I mean, I haven't had a boyfriend for like, I don't know. I can't even think now.
Well, she's thinking.
It's gonna be like 10 years. It's gonna be like 10 years. I don't care.
Did you do the cocaine?
I'm done. I mean, if it ever happened, again, okay, fine. But if it doesn't, I'm good. At
the same time you was a lesbian?
At the same time. Well, so, but
yeah. Philip Blair, there were strap-ons, but that's the thing.
But I guess it's not a real dick.
Strap-ons that's just another fucking penis. Philip Blair, wake up. Okay. Okay, that's gonna be a whole other show when I
strap-ons and all the sort of accessories.
That'll be a Robin After Dark, and
I'm gonna have to read the chat more. What the hell? Where'd the strap-on part come from?
It's quite chatty today.
Yeah, Julie, I did give it a good shot.
Right on.
The life, went to gay bars. Did the scissor? I'm not gonna. Okay. I will do a Robin After Dark, and I'll talk about all of that stuff.
That's hysterical.
But yeah, boy.
Well, I think women too. Like,
what gay bars?
Maybe it's different now, but even growing up, I found that more women were willing to even experiment with other women. Like, than men would be experimenting with men.
That. I never knew about that. I never, ever.
Everyone, including me, that I know, like all my female friends, we've all been with women before. And it was just, it's no big deal. And it's not like, it's not like I'm a lesbian. I don't know if I would want to do it full time because I think women are crazier than men anyways. So I don't know if I want a girlfriend. You know what I mean? But it's most of the, Sylvia, most of my girlfriends, everyone's had some experience with other women.
Women are more complicated. Men, all you have to do is grease it up and go. Women are way more complicated. There's nuance to it and shit, and you've got to get your heads. And okay, frankly, trying to be a lesbian exhausted me.
I would imagine. I can imagine it being exhausting.
Yeah, it was. I didn't want to do that much work to begin with. Okay. Okay. How long have we been on? We've been on a long time. 10 people watching. Hi, Omni. I know you're watching. Or Doc.
Hi, Omni.
When I forgot my train of thought. Never mind.
Lesbians.
You was talking about how exhausting it was to be gay.
How exhausting it is to be a lesbian.
Yeah, I still can't.
And you did that for 7 years, and then you decided something. I think that's where you was at. You decided you were done with that for 7 years.
Okay, here's what happened. Okay, boy, this is really fucking personal. The person I finished up with being a lesbian with died.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm sorry.
And it was really horrific and tragic, and it was awful. And then after that, when you lose somebody, you go numb anyway.
Yeah.
And I was in my 60s, and okay, time to go numb anyway. What am I doing? Do I want to go out and be a hoochie and get dick or good times?
Yeah.
Or do I want to just be happy and live my life?
Exactly.
Yeah, so
that's basically the point I'm at. Yeah.
Yeah. So 20 years ago, I went. Okay, I tried the hetero for things, and I was for a time, and I was good at it. Bad lesbian, but now I think I'm being a good old lady.
That's right. Yeah. I just can't be bothered because even like Sylvia's always, because Sylvia knows I'll probably live longer than her. I said, who knows though, right? And she's, you should find something. It's like, no, I'm done. I'm okay now. You know what I mean? Like, I guess it would be nice. I'd have to get used to dating somebody again because I haven't done it for so long. And it's just I just can't be bothered. It's just like, I'd rather just do my own thing, and I don't have to answer to anybody. If I want to eat ice cream at 3 o'clock in the morning, I can, and nobody's bothering me. Just shit like that. If I, like just shit like that. If I want to go out with the girlfriends or whatever, like it's not that you have to have your boyfriend's permission, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I don't have to answer to anybody. If I want to, if I wanted
a roommate. I wouldn't even want a roommate right now because you always have to be considerate of another heart.
Thank you. Yeah.
And bathroom schedules. And am I farting too loud? And
kitchen stuff.
Or pick my nose. Okay, wait a minute. In the chat, Philip Blair, you are firing up a burning question I've always had. Okay, he says lesbians weren't covered in public school sex ed. Neither was prostate stimulation. Okay, regarding the prostate, can I talk about prostate for a minute?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Sure. Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay, I have, God, over the years, I have had many, many people who have transitioned, many friends, and it was cool. Nobody, only like recently, I don't know why there's this big flap and the controversy about people transition. Okay, anyway, jumping ahead to my question. And okay, I've had a lot of alternative lifestyle friends. Fuck, my whole life. I had more of those kind of friends than mainstream friends. 50 years for me. Okay. But I've never, ever, ever, we were like these high class kind of folks in our own minds. We never discussed base things. We just accepted each other. Okay. I have never known. Okay. When people have the bottom surgery.
Yeah.
Oh God, my nose is running because I'm asking this. Okay. And I'm tearing up. Okay. When people have the bottom surgery, do they take out the prostate? Or do they leave it, or is it left? Because I know that's a primary source of stimulation.
Is prostate. I think it's left.
Do you think?
I think they would just. I think they would just take off the penis and the testicles.
The
why would they have to? Why would they have to get rid of the prostate? I mean, if that's the only way after they remove everything that could make you orgasm, like why wouldn't you have a little pleasure place? You know what I mean?
That's my question too. I hope they're not deprived.
I don't think so. I don't think I've ever heard of that. So
I've never heard of it. I've never asked it, even though I have lived my life in that community.
I wouldn't think so.
Never, because we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna ask because I have some. I got actually for some reason on TikTok. I'm like, the trans people love me.
Okay, you're a fat guy.
I'm gonna ask one of my friends, and I got to be careful about it because I'm not sure who's had. I know some have had bottom surgery, but you don't want to, But from just, I don't know. I'm just imagining. I don't recall. There's about 5 or 6 of them who had bottom surgery, but I don't recall any of them saying anything about their prostate.
Yeah. Well, because it's not discussed.
Because there was other. Most of the discussion is that how much money you could spend, because the thing is, I guess there's some doctors, like if you go to a regular doctor, I have this one lady and she's quite well off, and she spent a lot of money on her surgery, but she still has the ability. I don't know what they did. She still has the ability to have an orgasm vaginally, as she calls it.
I've never had a vaginal orgasm my entire fucking life.
I did it like when I was older, but not when I was younger. Like, I can understand. Like, my girlfriends would talk about getting laid in and like having these mind-blowing orgasms just by getting laid in. I'm like, no, you got to do something else. It's like, no. And it feels good and everything, but not happening. Yeah. So, but when I was older, it was the first time that happened. I'm like, what the fuck was that? My boyfriend's killing himself. I was like, is that supposed to happen? He started laughing. But yeah, so, but yeah, she says too, like a lot of them talk about the cost. Like you can spend a lot of money, and I guess she chose to go that route because she makes good money. And she goes, listen, I'm going to go for the best stuff. And I'm really sorry for people who can't, but she, explains it quite well about, she still has the ability to, have a vaginal orgasm. She goes, that's the way they made it. And I guess whatever they used from, her ex-penis, as she calls it.
Ex-penis.
Her ex-penis. Yeah. She's hysterical. I love her. She is absolutely hysterical because she's like 60 and she only transitioned about 5 years ago. So, and she's still married to her wife, and stuff like that. But yeah, so she's older. But then there's other ones I talk to too. And I guess the big debate, because that's the big debate they talk about, is that, you know, in order to be a trans woman, like, do you really have to have like the penis off? Because my one trans friend, she said, like, if you take my penis, you're taking the only ability I have to orgasm away. But she goes, you know, if you're dysphoric, then that could be an issue. But she's not. She has no problem with her penis. You know what I mean? But she said too, like, you know, I'm okay with it. But she said, I wouldn't want it to be removed because you're going to take away my own way to have an orgasm.
Oh.
Insert several disclaimers, including medical ones, about here.
Yeah, sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Maybe I need to.
I'm not a medical professional. I'm just talking about my friend's experience. Let's just clear that up. Yeah, sorry. Not talking about the medical again. Yeah, sorry.
Jilly beans, don't cry for me, Argentina. Jilly, it's okay. It's okay. Margaret Cho even did an entire comedy show that she toured with, and the title was "I Can't Come When You Fuck Me." And it's so many women cannot come during fucking. They can't. It's all about the little man in the boat. It's all about.
Or if they can find your G-spot, apparently, because that's apparently the only way you can. That apparently is the only way you can come vaginally.
That's urethra stimulation, and it has to do with peeing, called squirting when you come. Oh, I didn't say that. Anyway, okay, Jilly beans here. Jilly, even through
what's Jilly saying? I can't see the chat.
Through all of my partners, well, like I have a lot, but I never, ever had a climax, ever during sex, ever.
Like vaginal.
Not during any kind of method. You know, there are tricks and there are things and
like never ever from anything.
Au contraire, I said, but when I was and now like really young people know what orgasms are. I was so in the dark. I discovered an orgasm when I was 20 years old. I'd already been married 2 years.
Wow.
20 years old. My husband was at work because he worked aircraft. He was working, the baby was asleep in the other room. I made myself a tuna sandwich. I was laying on the couch having my tuna sandwich, watching whatever on television. And I don't know what made me reach down there. But okay, when I was 20 years old, when I was having a tuna sandwich, I had my first orgasm. And oh my God, that's what he was talking. Because, okay, when I first got together with my children's father, and I was mystified about organ, he came. He says, did you come? What? He says, okay. What that is you feel just really relaxed afterward. That was my explanation for having an orgasm from this doofus.
I was going to say,
well, no wonder Robin likes to smoke a cigarette.
You know if you have an orgasm, it's not like you're just
I didn't know, because when I was little, you weren't even allowed to touch yourself down there.
Yeah.
And I failed all of the rules. Anyway, so when I was 20 years old, I went, my God, that's what it is. and so ever since then, okay, I was 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 75. So for the last 55 years, I've been my own best friend.
That's right. That's another thing I say to my friends too, because they're all, you should, and they're all married and whatever. Oh, you should have a boyfriend. It's like, you know what? I have more fun by myself most of the time. I said, guys just don't do it. I have more fun by myself most of the time. So
most of the time,
I'm okay. Like, you only know, who knows how to who knows how to do you best but you, right? So I'm just saying.
No kidding. Your right hand, the left hand. Okay, so there's a
switch it up. You play coy with each other.
Hello. Okay, so Mudbrooker.
Oh God, is Mud here? Oh God, help us!
Mudbrooker, you want to come in? Okay, I put a link in the chat.
Oh dear, here we go.
Okay, there are 12.
Mud's gonna come in with the ladies.
Okay, Renee, no kidding.
What did Renee say? I can't read the chat.
You guys had selfish
says,
lovers.
There you go. She read it.
Huh.
I seem to be, I'm not going to say nothing here. I seem to do
okay. I like good lovers. I don't complain, but I'm just thinking, like, later on, they're just like, I guess the older they get, I don't know. It's just not doing it for me anymore. I don't know. So I just rather be by myself, and I'm good. So that's what I said to a friend of mine too. I mean, yeah, I'm only 60 and stuff like that, but I mean, still too. It's like, that's what I know. That's what I said too. It's like, oh my God, like really, you want to see me naked? I don't think you do. I really don't think you do. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay, Corey.
Gravity is nothing, Corey.
Corey,
yes.
You have just freaked out Maggie. Maggie is freaked out. She says, what the fuck? I'm still in a wacky lucid dream. I was just going to the bathroom. Maggie just stepped in.
Hey, Mags.
Mags, look what I've been reduced to. I talked about being a lesbian, for fuck's sake, Mags.
It's not my fault. I was wandering in the alley, and she just kind of grabbed me by the scruff of my shirt and said, "Come here. You are now mine. I shall name you Scrappy.
I
shall name you Fluffy." Yeah. Hi, Mags.
And this one's Fluffy, and I'm Scrappy, and she's been trying to feed us tuna fish sandwich, but now I think I know why.
Okay, if you want a life-changing experience, have a tuna sandwich when you're discovering how to orgasm.
Does the tuna fish, do you think, help with this whole experience, or?
Well, it certainly enhanced it. It gave meaning to it, and when I look back, now I open the tuna fish sandwich. It brings back the memories. The smell of the tuna. Yeah, with lots.
I'll try that. I'll let you know.
Okay, please do. Report back here.
Okay. I'll let you know.
Yeah. I do not like tuna.
I like tuna.
What?
I do not like tuna.
Did your mom used to make you tuna sandwiches?
She would offer them, but it was always, she never forced me to eat it. I was lucky that way. But because the rest of the family appreciated them, but no, I just, go find some peanut butter and jelly and call it a day. But
that's okay.
That's okay.
I never did dig tuna. I mean, I'm sure of all the tuna sandwiches she could make, because she put little bits of pickle and stuff and little bits of like chives and
stuff.
Yeah. So I'm sure it was really groovy, but just.
Yeah.
That's just not your thing, so,
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can try a peanut butter and jelly sandwich then.
Maybe
it's just the sandwich.
Sorry.
Oh, there he is.
Mudbrooker, how long have you been back there, Mud?
About an hour and a half now.
Okay, well, my badass. How are you, Mud?
Pretty good.
Hey, Mud.
Did you hear all our sexy talk?
I come in on the end of it.
Penis removal.
Okay, so you don't know personal details about us.
Oh, there you go.
Well, apparently Robin is frigid.
I love the fuck you.
See, and
wait, don't shut up a minute. Okay.
That's good. Robin's a frigid lesbian.
Yeah, well, I can understand why being a lesbian wouldn't work, because men are pigs, women are a pain in the ass.
That's right. That's what I said. I don't want a girlfriend because they're crazy.
Yeah, women are nuts.
Women are crazy. That's right. I said the same thing. Yeah.
That's too funny. All you have to say about it.
See, that's why they put the prostate there, is because women are a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So where did so we're talking about the prostrate. I can't say the word properly. What's the word, guys?
Prostate.
Thank you. Prostate.
With an R, it means you're laying flat on your face.
See, there you go. That's part of it too. See, we're getting somewhere now.
I think you need one of those twisty things that get rid of your wax.
Yeah, you see, Robin, I noticed in the comments, everybody saying, you always had selfish lovers. Well, they're selfish in the wrong way. See, I'm an extremely selfish lover. I will get you off whether you want to or not because it makes it that much more entertaining for me.
Oh, there you go.
What?
Oh, it's a lot more fun when you.
I'm good. I have to mute for a second.
It's a power trip. It's a power trip.
Well, it's a lot of fun. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
it's like a tickle me on me.
Oh, hell yeah. He's laying there, flopping around.
Mud.
It's a riot. Yeah.
No.
You're competing with my Oster vibrator.
You have no chance.
My 20-year-old Oster vibrator.
The one that goes on the back of your hand, got the little strap that goes around it.
No. It has that little knobby thing.
You got to be careful because you can break your jaw. When you crank start it. That little crank can just ding, 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 come up and smack you in the jaw. Your crank start on your vibrator.
Okay, so that was sort of a diversion, but Mud, I can't help but go. Now I'm past my lesbian year. I can't help but be sort of brought to weak knees by a man of your command.
Jesus, here we go.
Dun, dun, dun. This is better than one of them little novellas.
Better than the prostate stuff.
The Latina channel. Keep going.
Keep going, Robin.
I would never, ever cut in front of 6 drops at the drinking fountain or at the fast food place. So, Mud, after 6 drops,
you're done with 6
seconds.
A competition's healthy. Go for it, Robin.
That's right.
I didn't hear you, Robin.
Fuck up. Oh, fuck up. No, it's called cooperation. 6. After you, I am asking perhaps your permission to have Mud for the sloppy seconds round.
Oh, I could be the fluffer for you guys.
Yeah. There you go.
Or I'll be the fluffer after.
Oh.
Or between.
Okay, all right. Well, at our secret women's meeting that we do behind the men's back.
Yeah, we'll talk about that then.
We'll talk details. Yeah.
Summit meeting, and then we'll tell Mud what's up.
You can work out work out the assignments in the order. I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah, we got to put it past Queen Cat Lady because I think she's got some
designs on the old Mudbrooker there. Okay.
Yeah, we got to have a written
little lineup waiting for the old Mud there.
Yeah, she gets upset if you do things off the book. She's very to the letter and per
Good night.
books. And
good night, Maggie-of-England. Good night, Maggie-of-England.
Good night, Maggie. I love you.
My Maggie, my honey.
Good friend and co-host, Max. Thanks for being here.
Bye, Maggie.
Okay.
That's too funny.
Mags.
She's probably killing herself laughing.
I hope so.
She's probably. I could just see her going to the bathroom and just checking to see what's going on there. We were talking about whether the trans ladies have their prostates or not. I could just see her in the bathroom just howling.
I know about the prostate removal. Okay, anybody? Okay,
I'll ask my friend and see.
What about
that?
Okay, Mud. We were talking. Hang on, Robin. We were talking about trans ladies and we were talking about bottom surgery. Now, Robin brought up a good point that she wasn't sure if you have bottom surgery, if they take the prostate out also. I didn't think so, because I've never heard of that. Like, if they have the bottom surgery, usually they just take the penis and the testicles off, because I've never heard them of removing the prostate.
They take the testicles off, but actually they turn the penis inside out.
Exactly.
Yeah, to make a little catcher's mitt.
And you know, the vagina that you end up with from a trans surgery, it's more like a piercing. Really, there's maintenance involved. You got to keep it stretched out.
You got to keep dilating it. All that stuff. Yeah.
You know, but they use the outside of the penis basically as the lining.
Exactly.
For the new vagina. But I don't think they would remove the prostate simply because it's extremely difficult to do that without damaging the nerves.
That's what I thought.
That innervate the area.
Yeah.
And that's why, you know, so many guys end up impotent after they have to have a prostate removed for cancer or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, there's techniques that'll spare the nerves, but a lot of times that isn't really a viable option. They got to take everything out because of cancer or something.
Okay, so that's the disease related approach to the surgery.
But if you were
elective,
you might be able to spare the nerves a little easier, but you know, it's still a pretty dicey type of thing.
I can see why they'd have to take it out.
How they work the urethra?
Huh?
How they work the urethra? Does it go?
That happens with the inside out surgery.
Yeah.
But the prostate is behind that. You know, the prostate is a roommate to all the other goods. So I'm just wondering if they leave it. Or
I just said, I'll ask my friend, but I'll ask my girlfriend. I don't think so. I don't think they do.
I have never dared ask a friend because
I'll ask my friend. She'll probably be okay with it, but I'll ask her. I'll let you guys know. But I don't think so. I've heard of it. I know 5 or 6, and I'm sure they would have mentioned it if if they got the prostate. And I'm sure they would have, you know what I mean? Because it's such a, they all get, so involved in their surgery, and
none of my trans friends have ever discussed it.
See, mine do. Mine have no problem with it. So
I
never felt privy to, their personal. But in the last year or so, I've wanted.
Yeah. I'll ask her.
I wouldn't think they would unless there was a reason.
Unless there's an issue, exactly. Yeah. Unless they wanted it out because they didn't want to get cancer in it later or something,
I know, and leave the shit there for recreation. If that is a major point of stimulation, why not?
Why not leave it? Exactly.
Hello.
Exactly. And that's what I'm thinking. So, but I'll ask her. I'll ask her, and I'll let you know for sure. Because she's got, because she, as I said, she spent a lot of money. Like, you could go to really good. It probably cost her, I would say, about $300,000. Yeah, it's a lot of money. But she got, as she calls it, the high end. And as I said, she can still have an orgasm, as she calls it, vaginally.
Oh, wow.
So, and that's not the prostate. She says she actually has it, in her vagina. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking they left something there, or, but I'll ask her, but I'm kind of I don't think they do, unless the only thing I can think of is why they would remove it is maybe for later on. Because maybe in your family you might have had a lot of the males had the prostate cancer, and maybe just decided to remove it as a preemptive. You know what I mean? But I can't see why they'd remove it. So
yeah, well,
I'll ask her. I'll let you know.
With the hormone replacement, I mean, there's a lot lower chance of
that's what I'm thinking too.
Prostate cancer. The prostate doesn't produce any testosterone, but it's sensitive to it.
And
a lot of times if you have prostate cancer, they'll put you on testosterone suppressants.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. because they have to. Yeah, because if you go on hormones, you have to be on. They have to lower your testosterone. So, because otherwise you'd just be, basically, menopause basically for the rest of your life. So, yeah. Okay, I'll ask her. I don't think she'd have a problem with it. So, because she's talked to me about her surgery and stuff like that, and she's like, "You don't mind me talking about this?" I said, "No, I think it's fascinating, right?"
Well,
Because I said I know some trans women that are just they don't want to. Like I have another trans friend, and she's fine. Like she said, like I'm not dysphoric about my penis. She goes, I have no problem with it, and she goes, my whole thing is that I can still live as a woman, but I don't have to, you don't have to take the maleness away from me for me to be that. But she says my main issue is that I don't want you to take away my only ability to have an orgasm.
Wow, boy,
which makes sense.
Had some amazing conversations. I have never dared have those kind of conversations with my
people. Talk to me. I don't know what it is, but they just talk to me about everything. Okay, I mean, I have these amazing conversations with strangers in lineups about just everything.
Oh, so do I, but we don't talk about it. Boy, Corey, yay you.
Yeah. I'm open, and you want to talk about anything, I'm good. I don't care. So, but yeah, and as I said, I'll ask her for sure. Actually, I'm probably going to see her tonight. I'm probably going to see her tonight. So, I'll ask her. I'm sure she'd be okay with it. And she's the type of person too. If she's not, she'll just tell you to fuck off, right? So, but she's quite open about her surgery. So I'll just ask her. I can't say what she'd be.
Oh, yeah, I've always wanted to know that because.
Okay. Okay. If I talk to her, I'll DM you.
Okay.
On Twitter, and I'll let you know.
Okay, on the Twata, as
the Twata.
I think
the Twata.
Maggie's. You guys. I can hardly wait for Maggie to come back because I'm. Okay.
We're driving you crazy.
We're driving you insane.
No. Number one.
We're poor replacements.
No, you guys save my bacon. Mudburger. Corey. 6. Thank you for.
You're welcome, honey.
Being without Maggie is like sort of like missing one of my arms.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that she showed up. But you guys, when she comes back, she's going to be on her newly refurbished patio. Her brand new laptop.
Them little stone things, nice. They look like little stone owls or something.
Oh
yeah. I am so jelly. Oh, yes. So she's got this backlighting on it. It's just.
Oh, wow.
Yes, please. Yeah. Take my money. It's beautiful.
Wait, I think I have a picture of her.
There it is.
Wow.
Look at that.
Lovely.
That is just her beginning, you guys.
Wow.
This is where she wants to broadcast
on
the Granny Show.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that pretty?
I could pull up a little footstool and just crash in that one little chair there.
Yeah, really.
One little chair there. Yeah, and with a nice beverage.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that's nice.
Sweet. So Mags, especially Genocide, Genocide can't.
Yeah, Genocide's missing Mags. Yeah.
And then Jello Shots is, all about Maggie's shoulder. And that kind of creeps her out.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Excuse me. Okay.
I think Mud would be kind of proud of me.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Be proud
because of that hit and run and what I've been doing to remove a lot of scuffs and abrasions from.
I want to know about that too. You haven't updated us.
Yeah, I had a big hit and run, and there's a lot of scuffs. I mean, it just took a lot, just rubbed up and squashed. You cannot use the passenger door anymore. And of course, it pushed her car up into my car. We both got liability. Man, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I was looking, I'm thinking, well, we'll just go, I'll look and see if I can just buy another old car like hers. And I haven't seen any, on the internet, weren't any on sale for about 5 years. And I thought I'll just plunk off pieces and, have, if I can't do it, because I'm on a condo and don't have my own garage, I'd pay someone to chunk them up and paint them up. And I'm just thinking, man, but in the meantime, we're just going to kind of give it a sort of like put some lipstick on that pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cosmetic surgery. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, because you can't use the door. And I've rubbed a lot of that off. We had to take the stripping off, and we're scraping all that rubber like cement that held the stripping down, and it really looks so much better. I'll have to shoot you a picture sometime, Robinson.
Okay.
But I was really proud of the difference I've made in it thus far.
Oh, that's good.
That's a lot of fucking work, Six.
And just to fix the one panel on the Monte Carlo is going to cost me 101 and some odd change.
Well, that's amazing.
The front fender.
Right there. But how much is your time worth, honey?
How
much do you make an hour? You know what? I figured if I would hire out right now with my vast experience, all these decades, I could hire out. I had a job offer, you guys. I could hire out at $95 an hour. Okay.
Wow.
So what is your time worth, Six? You have many more skills than I have.
Well, see, I usually do like paintings and artwork, and I'll say, well, this job will it'll cost you this much money. This thing will cost you that much money.
And you of course, undervalue your time.
So, and that's what I do. And, and it's more of a challenge. What I do is more of a challenge than a chore, because I made some good decisions and I don't have to clock in for my money anymore and stuff and things.
I know I was funning you. Okay.
But,
you know what you could do, Six? Where it's all banged and dented and wrinkled in. Mm-hmm. You paint a waterfall scene there. Make that look like the rock cliff in the background.
There you go.
I don't think. This is my mommy's car, the little 97, the little red 90, and I don't think she would want that. Ever since I've been playing with it and fixing it and pulling the scuff marks off of it, and I went to Napa and found a touch-up paint for when we finally get all this trim off. She was thinking about getting, like, you've seen the Wile E. Coyote splat and stuff. We had other stickers. I'm going to do the Wile E. Coyote splat on mine. But, then she got the idea of the sticker. And then by the time I started cleaning on it and rubbing on it and getting some of this looking good, and I still got plans to open up the trunk and pull in an access panel by the one and seeing if I can take a tire iron and a hammer and pop that one little piece out that's all sunk in. That's just all kinds of little things I'm going to try to do. Yeah. She changed her mind on the sticker, so she's really liking what's going on. But there's still a lot of crunchy crunch that I can't do until I can find another car. Excuse me.
Okay, you're going to find another car. Is that what you said?
If I'm lucky, I might find just one that I don't need the motor. It's got a few miles on it. I just need a couple of body parts, and
we're talking about your mom's car.
Yeah, my mom's little 97, and my Monte Carlo is an 04.
So, and she said, did you say she objected to your suggestions about fixing it up?
No, she's letting me go.
Oh, she is, because honey. You could trick that shit out.
Oh, no, I was just going to say.
Googly eyes. You can do a spray paint job. You can do a klaxon horn that says, "Go, you whore," or something like that.
But she doesn't want the sticker no more. She's
your
just
mom didn't even notice your googly eyes.
No, there's still some googly eyes to find.
She still hasn't found all the googly eyes.
Yes. And the one that
bust out, girlfriend. Trick up that. Whatever you're doing to her car, you can just trick the fuck out of it and film it, and we'll all have a laugh.
It's her little car. I'm trying to bring it back.
Your mom won't know. She's my age, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's 80.
Oh,
she's just a few scant years older than me. Bless her. But she won't notice. But you could have a good time.
Yeah, I'm just, that's what I told her. I said, hey, as long as it's a challenge and not a chore, I said, I'll chip away at it,
Yeah.
So but we'll see how we get there. Because, she took it to the body shop and the body shop just said, look, it's not worth fixing it up.
Oh, okay.
And that,
So does
the
she need
whole
a car?
side is just, no, it runs great. I
But
might,
does your mom
Does
need
she
a
need a
car?
car?
at 80, maybe it's a little hint from,
Uh,
the
Yeah.
the powers that be that maybe
All
it's
right.
Yeah,
time for
maybe
her to
it's
slow
maybe it's
down.
time she doesn't need to
6
drive anymore.
drops from your other mother. I'm telling you, she doesn't need a car. Get rid of that fucker and just call her an Uber.
That's a lot of money.
Right.
For the insurance and the gas and the this and the that. Yeah.
Dump it, sweetheart. Your mom doesn't need it. She's
But
how old? Tell me how old she is.
It's in my brother's name.
Tell your kick his ass then.
it's I'm just going to think if that's what it like. She likes. It's just me just trying to fix it up so her feelings aren't hurt so much. And it's
you know what? Old people, here's the thing about old people. We have been used to having our feelings our entire lives. Don't worry about that. Don't take that on you. Get rid of that fucking. Tell your brother to get rid of that fucking.
Oh, he knows what happened. Within minutes of it happened, I snapped pictures of it. It was still in the dark, and I said, "Well, this just happened." And I was supposed to get a call back from him and seeing if his insurance company, because this hit that.
Yeah.
And I said I doubt it would, because I think my insurance company, if they would have probably reached out further, and they didn't even bother. So I'm like, it's liability.
The car's so old, they realize that it's just not worth it. It's like,
I'm on my own.
Well, it's good that the auto body shop basically, told her the truth instead of ripping her off and saying, oh, yeah, we can figure. Yeah, because it would probably cost them so much money trying to find all these parts and stuff like that. It's good that they were at least honest with her and said, like, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
So
I just plunk with it, and I just kind of muddle, and it is what it is when it gets there,
Yeah.
I'm just that kind of person. I'm stressed. It's sort of a little challenge to see what we can do. Maybe,
you never
I'll
know,
have
right?
a stroke
You
of
never
luck,
know.
and I'll stumble across that model body and be able to, get someone to plop it on and slather it with some good paint.
Yeah.
Make sure the alignment's okay. It drives okay. Mine drives okay, and Uncle Bob.
Yeah.
It's not that big a deal. You can't cram that shit in your coffin anyway. Just,
I know.
You can't take it with you, exactly.
Yeah, but just because you can't take it with you doesn't mean you got to leave anything behind either.
I know.
If you do it right, the check your family writes the undertaker will bounce.
That's right.
Oh man, wouldn't that be cool? You guys, we're going on 3
hours. Yeah.
Almost 3 hours. This is the longest.
Yeah, it's 2:50. Yeah, 2:49 right now. So.
Yeah, and you played with Grampy for a while too.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, Robin. The two of you couldn't figure out the fucking Hornets. I explained about the Hornets. You read the comments. I heard you read the goddamn comments.
I did. And I
put the bees in the chat. What are those for? Well, how come there's bees in the chat?
They're for a while. Just forget it.
Okay.
I tell you.
Never
mind. Mudburger.
Yeah.
There were also clams. And
the clams were about 45 minutes to an hour earlier. There was considerable separation between the Hornets and the clams.
I'm not even asking. Okay, I'm afraid to ask.
You always want to have good separation between stinging insects and your clam.
And then, but your little icons after that they looked like little fat cows.
Yeah, they're kind of bumblebee looking things that didn't have any hornets.
I didn't get bumblebee. I know. Don't even try.
They don't have hornets. They don't have hornets. They have these kind of little fat cartoon bumblebee things.
Your bees.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Yeah, you don't, because it's stupid and dumb. It's dumb and stupid.
I'm
stupid
yeah.
and dumb.
You better hope.
But I
better hope God isn't a bee, Robin.
Yeah.
Or a hornet.
Oh, there you go.
I've been
oh, that would suck. Yeah, that would suck.
I've been slaughtering the little bastards all day.
So okay, seriously, Mud. Okay.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Have you looked outside, or have the hornet swarms died down?
Oh yeah, they settled down. There were a couple of nests that I had missed earlier. Hadn't got around to it. Going to let them settle down, because this time of night they all go back to their nest, and it's a lot easier to kill them.
Good time for attack.
They're almost like some other people we know.
Yeah, there's when you kill them during the day, you don't get them all, because there's always a dozen or so offline
hunters and gatherers.
Doing the shit they do during the day. But I
just picture in my mind's eye all these little wasps with little pitchforks and torches waiting outside his window.
Signs and
they're all tucking each other in, and good night, John Boy.
Sorry, Bud. Keep going, Bud. Sorry, baby.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens to the homeless ones now, because I'm out of spray at the moment. I got to get some more tomorrow, and
okay.
They should settle down and regroup by then.
Probably.
What kind are you using? Are you using Raid or
Spectricide?
Spectricide.
Fuck.
Yeah, works good. You know what else works really good for killing hornets?
Fire.
Flamethrowers.
Starting fluid.
Fire.
Oh, fire too. I use that for ground hornets. I got one of those big weed burner torches.
Yeah.
You just hold that right on the hole, and
that's it.
Take a shovel in your other hand and dig down and find them. Just burn them little motherfuckers right out.
That's
I love this. God, I used to do this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, starting fluid works great on hornets. It just curls them right up and kills them instantly.
Upon contact. I like that effectiveness upon contact.
Yeah, it's a little on the flammable side, so you don't want any open sparks or confined areas.
That's how you get rid of the bodies.
Yeah.
Right on. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go too, because I gotta phone Sylvia, because she had an MRI. Yeah, she had an MRI and she's called, so I imagine she's probably wondering what the hell I am. So, but well, thanks for letting me explain the whole story, because I was kind of because a few people like, where have you been? Where have you been? And I'm really sorry, but like, I've been at the hospital with my friend who nearly died. So I should be back on the regular more now, because everything's good now and stuff like that. So. So thanks for letting me, kind of share that story with you and all that fun stuff. So
thanks for being here, Corey.
Thank you, guys. Thanks everyone in chat.
Best wishes to Sylvia.
Yes, thank you. I will let her know, because I'm gonna either go see her again tomorrow or Tuesday or Wednesday. I might take a day off and just kind of relax. So. But yeah, I'll be seeing her soon anyways. I'll let her know. Yeah, because she knows that I listen to this chat, because she's been listening a few times when she was here. So, because she's like, what are you guys talking about? And I'm explaining it to her and all this stuff, right? So so she knows who you guys are. So
well, cool. Best wishes.
Okay, thanks very much. You guys have a great night, and I will see you guys soon.
See you.
Bye.
All right, bye everyone in chat. Have a good night. Thank you for listening to me. See you later. All right, thank you. Bye.
Okay, see ya. Bye. Okay, so this is our swan song, you guys. Okay, we're down to eight viewers. Okay, Mudbreaker, any final thoughts?
Not really. Going to be doing a live show again Tuesday. Yeah. So 6:30 p.m. Central Time.
I never know what that means.
You're 2 hours behind me, Robin. So when it's 6 o'clock here, it's 4 o'clock there.
4 o'clock my
It would be 4:30 your time.
Okay.
He's from the future, Robin.
4:30 my time.
4:30 Tuesday. That's the day after tomorrow.
The day after forever.
Just hit the goddamn notifications on his channel,
Robin.
Robin.
Hit the goddamn notifications. No confusion. It's cut and dried.
I'll just tell her to do the easy thing. It'll be. Sorry.
Thanks. 6. Okay, are you fucking done, Mud?
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
More or less, that's good enough for me. 6. Any final thoughts?
Find me at TikTok at 6 Drops in Ray.
6 Drops.
I'm a shit ton more funnier there than here.
You fuckhead.
I am.
I thought you were pretty fucking funny. Okay, that's it, you guys. Thank you.
It's like the Muppet Show on acid.
You guys, she's not lying. Anybody who doesn't know who 6 Drops is, check her out on Instagram.
No, it's not Instagram. It's TikTok.
TikTok. I'm sorry.
6 Drops in Ray. Well, actually, I did do some backup on Insta. You can find a little bit of me, of my TikTok on Insta, just for backup when Trump was carrying on. He was going to drop it, but blah, blah, blah.
That's where I found you. Okay, so there's you guys. You can post a link in the chat if you want. Okay.
Selfless plug, blah, blah, blah. But I love you guys anyway. That's probably why, because you allow me to get away with this shit.
Well, look at what all of us have gotten away with. Okay, so you guys, I am so fucking nice. Okay, I love every damn one of you. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Using crack and cocaine to get high, that's what you say you love. But it's really insane. You could die. What are you thinking of? 'Cause nobody's needing that crack and cocaine. There's terrible trouble behind it. And sooner or later you're burning your brain, making a mess of your mind. Just a snort or a smoke in your greed, that's all you care about. But your life is a joke, and you need someone to help you out. 'Cause nobody's needing that crack and cocaine. There's terrible trouble behind it. And sooner or later you're burning your brain, making a mess of your mind. 'Cause nobody's needing that crack and cocaine. There's terrible trouble behind it. And sooner or later you're burning your brain, making a mess of your mind. There is help available for people who have a problem with cocaine or crack addiction. Have them call 1-800-COCAINE for advice. And if someone ever offers you crack or cocaine, be smart. Just say no. 'Cause nobody's needing that crack and cocaine. There's terrible trouble behind it. And sooner or later you're burning your brain, making a mess of your mind. 'Cause nobody's needing that crack and cocaine. There's terrible trouble behind it. And sooner or later you're burning your brain, making a mess of your mind. 'Cause nobody's needing that crack and cocaine.